Hey everyone, Green Cricket here. And today have a very special event for you because we're not playing Gwent today, but we're actually starting our Shadowrun campaign. And we're not starting any Shadowrun campaign, we're actually starting Shadowrun Boston Lockdown, which is a very special campaign because we have one of the writers and one of the executive producers of the game with us. It's Primetide, and he will be our GM today. And the cool thing is, Shadowrun is not being played alone, so we actually like three players and like as I said, like one game master. And well, you know me, I'm playing Cleaver, which is an orc from like the Hell Riders in Boston, which have very strange like initiation ritual because you basically take your bike and you drive them onto a wall, and if you survive it, then you're in the gang. So that's Cleaver right there for you. And the other players are Vivian, and here's his little orc Benito, who will tell you in a second. Riven is like a long-term friend of me, and I think we played like tabletop games, I don't know, since we were 16. So I think it will be very cool to have him here. And I don't know, you want to tell something about your character?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm playing Benito. I'm playing an orc as well, and my character is a pizza delivery guy. So on the outside, he's just bringing you some nice hot food. But he's also got some darker packages for you, which might kill you in the end.
That sounds promising. Our next player is Apro, which is a fellow Gwent streamer as well. She recently became Grandmaster, so cheers for that. And she is growing like quite quickly, so if you want to play Gwent, I heavily advise you to watch her channel. She's pretty funny, and she's playing Hole Punch and an Ork Lady. I think she will tell you in a second.
Yeah, that's right. Hello, everyone. By the way, hi. Yeah, so my character is Hole Punch. She's an orc who was born to human parents, but they tried to raise her, basically. They had good intentions, but at an early age, what would you call it? A non-human hater threw acid on her, so she's a bit disfigured, and her parents gave her up to an orc lady they knew who ended up becoming her mentor. So she's kind of grown up underground with a bit of a real bitterness towards humans, and she's become basically an ammunition and guns specialist over time.
Well,
that's the short version.
Sounds useful. And then, like the last one, as I already told you, Primetype, who is like probably the most experienced of all in the Shadowrun universe. That's also why he will now like master the adventure. He basically was part of, well, in creation. I don't know how to say it better. So welcome, Primetide. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. Hi. We also have a designer, by the way, of the Shadowrun Chronicles game with us. So Green Cricket is one of the designers. So I'm not the only guy to blame for that. So I want to be clear on that. For those people that don't know Shadowrun, it's a system that basically combines cyberpunk and fantasy. So it's like Blade Runner crashed into Tolkien, and they had a bastard child, and that's Shadowrun. Shadowrun has a history of over 25 years of a game system being played. And a disclaimer for those people that do know Shadowrun, I haven't played a lot of 5th edition Shadowrun. So it's the current edition of Shadowrun, and I'm familiar with the rules, but I'm definitely not a rules lawyer. So anybody who knows Shadowrun is watching this. Feel free to give us comments if we do something horribly wrong. Also, apologies for mangling the English language. Obviously, we're not, well, apart from Apro, nobody's a native speaker, so we don't even want to try a Boston accent. But we're going to try and have fun nevertheless.
Yeah, also like one thing to say, like even if we bend the rules a little, like we're here to have fun, so, be, how I say it, easy on us.
yeah, please go easy on us. We're not rules experts. Also, it doesn't matter because most of the time we don't actually do anything that has any resemblance to rolling dice or something. The Shadowrun system, basically, for quickly, is a lot of 6-sided dice. So depending on the characters people have, and I don't know whether you can see the character sheets, but we've got the nifty Roll20 character sheets we're using.
You will see mine a lot, I guess, but I'm not sure about the others.
All right, I really don't know how the picture comes through, but if you can see them, what happens is you've got stats like willpower or strength or body, and you've got skills like shooting a gun or climbing or running or talking to people. These usually get combined for something that's called your dice pool. So when you roll, say arm wrestling, you got to roll strength and, let's say, unarmed combat. Probably not, but let's say you punch let's say you want to punch a hole in the wall because your name is just saying that you want to. You're going to use your unarmed attack plus your strength in dice, and then you roll that number of 6-sided dice. And every 5 and 6 counts as a success, and then you count net successes. So assume you've got 5, that does something. In a normal game, hitting something with a weapon gives you excess damage. So the more hits you have over the first one, the better it is. And in general, you want to roll a lot of hits. There is a difficulty level usually associated with a threshold, and I'm going to tell you that threshold. So let's say you need 3 successes or 5 successes or 2 successes. Again, we're gonna get that working while we do play. So don't worry if you haven't understood it yet. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it.
Yeah, and I want to preemptively apologize because I've never done anything like this. So I'm kind of like, I don't even know what's happening really. I'm just rolling with it, so to speak.
Yeah.
As said, like fun above everything else.
Yeah, exactly. We're just
that I can do. That I can do.
Okay, so your group. Well, not a group actually. We're not in a fantasy role-playing game, so you're not going to enter a tavern and get a mage telling you what to do. But we do have a place we're playing. It's Boston in 2076. It's another much too warm and much too humid June evening, and the plastic creek pavements and steel glass buildings reflect the heat. So you're actually sweating while you're standing wherever you're standing. You're sweating your asses off. And you can smell the city slowly being brought to the boiling point, and you can sense that in people when it gets hot and humid and everybody's a little on the edge. You're even more on the edge because you're sitting in a prison van. The ventilation in your prison van is malfunctioning, so you're drenched in sweat. Basically, the metal is heating up, and you're shuttled over a blocked motorway, so you have to stand in the boiling heat, waiting for cars to move. Before you entered the prison van, you were put in constraints. There's some tech on it. You've got chipped with an RFID search tech. An RFID tech, basically, they just injected you with it, is a little radio frequency sender that will allow them to track you. So should you ever have the idea of fleeing in any way, they'll be able to trace you through that RFID tech unless you cut it out of your body.
Oh, we would never do that. I mean, we're such nice people. I mean...
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean,
where did they inject it?
Yes,
don't ask. Don't ask.
Where exactly do I need this body part?
So where are you going? You are currently in a night errant police van in Boston, as in most of the known world. Everything that is usually or has been done by states has been privatized. So the police in Boston is run by Knight Errant, a company, a corporation that has sort of taken a lot of the contracts of policing work in all over North America. And you're on your way to a Lone Star social reintegration and correctional facility.
Correction.
Which is another word for prison. And Lone Star also is a private company running the security, usually running security and policing as well. But in Boston, it's actually different. They are only running the prisons. Lone Star prisons and Lone Star in general, because Lone Star comes from the state of Texas, free state of Texas. They have seceded some time back. Is not known for being friendly. They take a no-nonsense attitude towards criminals and convicts of any sort. You are not known to each other, so you've just met in the prison van, basically being put in there. And I just want to, if you look at the person across you, I just want to see or hear what you are seeing. So please describe yourself briefly. I'm looking at you, and we start with that roll. So, whole punch.
Yeah. So just in terms of what I look like, you mean?
Yeah. What am I seeing? I'm looking at you. What am I seeing? So,
yeah, I'm an orc woman. I have a kind of really like a patch of mangled skin, I suppose you'd say, like an old scar from the acid that's been thrown on my face on the left-hand side of my face. I try to use my hair to cover it up as often as I can, but I'm a little bit self-conscious of it, but in the end I don't really care. And that's me.
Okay, what's your, I mean, it's hot, it's sweaty,
Yeah, I see.
How are you? Like, what's your pose? Are you growling? Are you sweating? Are you sitting silently meditating?
No, I'm leaning up against the wall with my arms kind of folded, and my hair is just plastered to my head at this point because I'm just totally covered in sweat. But I refuse to kind of just sit down and, relax or try to cool down because I'm.
Okay, so you're and the microphone's just gone.
Yeah, your microphone is gone. Like again.
But I guess the description was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it's I don't know.
Let's try and see. So I'm now looking at Cleaver. So what am I seeing?
Well, you're probably like, first of all, you asked if I'm sweating. Yeah, I do. Like a lot, probably. Like what you see is probably the biggest dude in the van. Like I'm probably filling the whole back wall. Like I'm really big, like really big, and like there's a lot of space to sweat from. So yeah, that's also probably what you're smelling in the van. So, but I would say I'm quite handsome. Like I'm not probably not for you orc dudes, but well certainly for troll. So I have a lot of tribals on my like tattoos all over my body. You see some scars. Probably have been like under the dog. I don't know, often, let's say, and my how to say it? I'm probably like this. Like I'm standing at the back of the van, and I'm like leaning back and just like waiting for stuff to happen, so to say.
Okay. So this is the inside of your van. I don't know if you can see that on your map.
Yes, they can.
That's a very modern prison van. You can see an excellent ventilation system, which is holes in the wall. So the troll is here, is tied to basically the whole backbench, and pretty much taking most of the space up until the ceiling, sweating profusely and smelling. Benito, what are you making of that?
Well, I try to sit very small on the remaining part of the bench that isn't covered by the nice orc lady who's staring at everyone, and the nice troll dude who's sweating all full. And well, I'm trying to hide, push against the wall. I'm not feeling very comfortable in here. I don't know what's coming next, and I feel very uncertain of everything, and I try to make myself as small as possible. Well, which is a little bit hard because I'm a well-built orc with muscles everywhere, but I'll try my best to hide next to these two guys.
Basically looking at Benito, and I'm like, hey, Chama, ready to be re-socialized?
If I was never socialized, how can I be re-socialized?
Okay, he's one for clever wordplay. Good. So, as I'm saying, you're sweating profusely and you're actually moving slowly. There seems to be some traffic congestion. The knight errant guard in front of the vehicle looks back at you, scrawling, and with a sort of mocking voice says, "You better get comfortable, Trox. This will be a while. Traffic is wicked over at Fenway with the Red Sox game going. Any of you fans? Oh, you prefer Urban Brawl, probably, right? Well, I hear Massacre are killing it this season. You get it? Killing. Massacre, you know?
Oh!
You're actually laughing at him or at the joke?
Well, I have the joke. Like,
okay. It was just a delay. I wasn't entirely sure whether you were actually not taking...
well, both probably. Like a mixture.
Okay. So the van is slowly going. Anything you want to talk about, or you're just staring silently at each other?
Urban Brawl fan, anyone's? No? No?
Okay.
I tried to kick at the walls. Are they hard? Is there any chance of getting out there?
Actually, both. They're there's a sort of metal which isn't real steel but plastic steel. But they're pretty hard, yeah. Do you kick, like, is it more of a testing kick to find the material out, or are you trying to actually kick hard and make a dent?
At first I wanted to have a testing kick, but all the anger and all the heat just drives me to a very, very firm and hard kick against the wall.
Okay. Whoa, lots of dice, sorry. There were dice already in the cup, I didn't see that. Okay. The window guard in front of you basically opens, and the knight errant officer, hey, keep it down there, or we're gonna make you. And slowly closes again.
Nice try, kid.
Well, you could try it. You look like a big fella.
Don't waste my breath here. You know, we need like save it for later.
Okay, so thinking happy thoughts, looking at each
It's
other.
fucking hot
smelling
here.
salt. It is pretty hot, and it's smelling. It's increasingly smelling like smelly troll. The traffic picks up a little, and apparently you're moving, and you can almost think that you're looking forward to the prison that you're going to go to, because at least they're supposed to have ventilation. But then all of a sudden you hear a loud noise, like an explosion, and the whole earth is actually shaking. So the prison vent, for a moment, tremors, and yeah, it seems like sort of an earthquake. And then from the outside, the prison vent is a little muffled. One of the things that you realized when you got in is that there seems to be a dampening field. Usually most of you do have comlinks or something like that that would connect you to everywhere in the world, basically, but specifically also to augmented reality. So in the 2076s, augmented reality is pervasive. It's everywhere. You can't go anywhere without seeing advertisements thrown at you. You look at people, you get information about them. If you know them, they're face scans. They tell you where they went. They tell you, they broadcast. Usually, you broadcast your own identity. If a police car comes by you, you normally have to broadcast identity. If you don't already, that's possibly a crime, but definitely something that will get the police to be interested in you. So there is a lot of noise, usually visual noise as well as actually oral noise coming at you. The prison van is silent, which is really weird. You can hear yourself breathing, you can hear yourself thinking, and that's unusual for the modern age. Normally, think about, just like you'd had 5 mobile phones, they'd all be doing something all the time, and you were like, and that's normal life for most people. They're constantly attacked by a barrage of things, but they also constantly try, stay on Facebook, do this, chat with friends, get the latest news on something, go shopping, tell Alexa to do stuff. So you're constantly in communication with the outside world, and here you're not. You actually have to use your voices. Some people don't even do that anymore. Just use their thoughts to connect. But so that's really silent. And from this silence, a massive noise, the massive explosion shaking the whole van. You can hear a lot of horns honking from the outside. You can hear sirens blaring all of a sudden. And you hear the guard audibly shaking. What the fuck, man? What's that? A fucking dragon?
What?
I can't believe that. A dragon just crashed into the Neonet towers. Oh my God, did you see that? They seem to be actually panicky, a little frightened maybe.
What does our driver do? He stopped, or what's happened? What happened to
They're
Wayne?
going on because they're not actually driving themselves. Grid Guide is driving them. Grid Guide is
Fucking great guy.
Google Maps that automatically drives all the cars in the city. So there aren't any accidents anymore, unless somebody hacks Grid Guide, which is really hard. So most people don't actually manually drive, so they're just sitting in front because that's where you're used to sitting. They didn't actually need to drive the car, so the cars go automatically. But the car does go on slowly, so the traffic continues because Grid Guide isn't really bothered by flying dragons in towers. Okay, so
Well, chaos is an opportunity, right?
maybe an opportunity. They're not slowing down much, but they're definitely the speed is probably just a little over running speed. So if you wanted to do something, that would be a chance.
Well, care to God, guys?
Sorry?
Boy.
That's-
You are all tied to the wall.
Oh, wait,
I mean,
like the straps we see here on the picture. Oh, okay, I see. How hard is it to get them off?
I don't know.
I
Are they
don't know either.
truck safe?
Yes, probably, but Like when you try a bit, like how much wiggling is there, and like how stable do they look like?
They do look a little flimsy. They are worn off. Apparently, a lot of people have been transported in this. On the other hand, the material, whenever you start to squiggle and push against it, it actually seems to straighten. It seems to get more tight. So it's reactive in some way.
I see. So I can't try to stand up. Like, let me try to stand up.
You try to stand up.
I'll try to stand
just
up here.
roll your strength.
Well,
and
like
your body.
yes, more or less. I'm just like, brah.
Okay, so you're really trying to get up.
Yes, I'm trying to get up. Here.
Forcefully.
Yes,
Okay.
force.
Okay, roll your body and strength, please.
I can roll them separately, I guess. So
You can roll them separately. Just roll strength and then roll body and add the amount of
I
successes.
see. Okay, let's see. So there we go. That's 4, and that's 2. So 6.
Yeah, 6 is a lot. Let me see.
Well, I'm a big troll.
Yeah, you are a big guy. Okay. Threshold is doing. Oh no, not a lot. Okay. Yeah, you actually managed to begin ripping them off from where they're fastened to the walls. So the material itself doesn't actually break, but you seem to be loosening the screws.
Yeah, that's good.
You would shut there. However, that actually there is an immediate reaction. The material tightens, and you do feel a little pain. So you're getting. Hang on. Oh, with the energy that you're giving into it, it's actually pushing back a lot of energy as well. So you get 3 damage.
Oh wow. Okay. I
That's
can't.
stat damage currently.
Yes.
So you're not hurting, you're not bleeding. It's just painful. And your dermal plating, because you're a troll, you have inherently dermal plating, will protect you from that. So deduct any dermal plating rating from that stun damage.
Okay, cool. So it's 2 then.
It should be 2 then, yeah.
Good. Well, that hurt, fuckers.
It hurt a little.
Well, it was a scratch, obviously. Like I'm not getting hurt, but like it's still annoying. And like
So you didn't get up yet, but
how much could I push further to like unloosen the screws?
Okay.
Like how much? Like do you think like do they already make a bit of like does it look breakable in the near future or?
So what? It's definitely if you just push hard and long enough, it looks like you could break them. It's called an extended test, which means you're basically rolling that, and you're adding up your successes.
Okay, let me do that and let's see how much energy I'm getting pushed back, and if my head hurts like just enough, then I'll probably stop.
Okay. So give it another push.
I'm pushing. So let me roll strength here. Let's see what it can do. And there we go. So 3 again. And 2. Like 5 this time.
Okay. Okay, they're pretty loose already. You do seem to have damaged. Like one of the screws already, you can see it coming out of the metal that is screwed in.
Yes.
You take another 2 hits. 1 hit actually because your dermal plating helps you.
Perfect. Oh, so question here.
The system itself it's still like the material is getting ever tighter, but at that point, when the material gets tight, it actually starts pulling out the screws as well, because you're basically just adding to the force there. So probably you think 1 more push and probably through.
Yeah, that's good. One question here, since I'm now at -3 already, like when does the first wound modifier hit in? Like at 3 or 4?
That depends on it. Usually the first one will go at 3, but that depends. Do you have any pain resistance or something like that?
Nah.
I
just don't show it. Like, but
okay. Don't let other people realize it. So at 3 you've got a -1. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good to know. So I'll try again with -1.
Okay.
Then.
So you use 1 less die. So you're
I can actually input that into.
Yeah. You put that in the.
So there we go. 4, and again -1, and Okay, 10 successes.
Whoa. Okay. That's
So I stand up.
six. Let me just see how much that hurts you. You're lucky. That's just 2 more hits.
Oh, that's cool. Good then.
Oh, okay. So you guys see that? I mean, he's struggling against his restraints. Then he's starting to stand up. You can hear the screws being pulled out of the metal, screeching. You see a little blood, well, not blood, but you see the pressure coming from those restraints. Are you gonna do anything, or just watch the troll?
Yeah. After I'm finished, I'm like, easy.
It looks really painful, so I'm not too inclined to follow his example. Does him making to rip the whole thing apart, does it make it easier for us to loosen our?
It's the same amount of screws in your bench.
Well, I like the competition, so I'll just try the same thing.
Okay. All right. So yes, go ahead. Start body and strength. Roll both. Let me see where you get.
Body and strength.
So you roll both separately. Okay, that's 2 successes and not a lot for strength. You're a heavy guy, but you're not particularly strong, apparently.
No, I'm not.
Let me see if I can resist that a little. Well, still good. And with only 2 successes, you don't actually get damage. So you feel the restraints tighten up a little, but apparently because there wasn't a lot of activity, you basically just leaned into them a little. You didn't actually push in any way or pull. So currently you're fine, and you don't really feel like they're loosening anything.
Do any of us have any tools, or did they take everything off us?
You are in a prison van. You have been stripped of literally everything, and you're all wearing orange jumpsuits.
Right. Could we maybe convince Cleaver to get us out?
You maybe could try if you wanted to talk to him.
All right. Hey, Cleaver. Well, I don't know your name, so hey, buddy. Listen up. What are you planning to do now that you're free of your constraints? Where are you planning to go?
Well, outside, I guess.
And how are you going to get outside?
I have no idea.
Well, might be that someone in this van is good at lockpicking.
Is that so?
That's true. So maybe if you were to help this person get out, she could help you get out of the van.
So I'm sitting back down again. I'm looking at Hole Punch, and I'm like, oh, if you're so good at lockpicking, then like wiggle free.
There's only one way to find out if I'm good enough, and that's to have my hands free.
Oh, that's it. Well, okay, let's see.
That's the brightest person in the room.
Actually, like when I want to stand up again, I want to like how's the like since there's a fucking dragon outside somewhere, I guess. Like what's our van doing? He's like how occupied are the drivers, and like what does separate me from the drivers, or like not the drivers but the people watching us?
It's a metal wall. There's a if you look at the thing there, you can in the back imagine there is a small grid that's usually covered from the other side. This is what they use to communicate with. Otherwise, it's just a solid metal wall.
Okay. How likely is it that I'm going to throw off the van? I mean, like, I'm pretty big. What happens if I do like
if you're pushing strongly against it, you really, throwing yourself against it, repeatedly, maybe you can have some success. But it's a pretty heavy van.
But
it's made of
okay,
metal.
I see. So probably like jumping left, jumping right, probably won't get it shaky.
No.
Not alone.
It'll get it to shake because you've got axles, so it'll go like.
Yeah.
But it don't go.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Well, okay. Let me try to get April free. Why not? I mean, like worst case, like when they got like I don't know, open the door.
What the fuck? You hear something over the noise of the loudspeakers. Sit yourself down, Trog.
Sure.
I'm gonna make you.
So, question is, how does he make me?
That's interesting. That question. You still got constraints on your hands, so you're tied up like this.
Oh, I see. So okay. So also like I'm probably have friends who have been in these vans more than once. So I probably know stories about this van. So I probably know how they would going to sit me down.
Well, usually if they are humane, they're going to use electroshocks because your wristbands usually have a pretty strong load of those. You also heard of prisoners just being shot.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
you're basically worthless scum, and if you're damaging, what you currently done is you're already running up a tab. You've damaged a vehicle that's owned by Knight Errant. So not only are you in prison, but you're also down a couple of thousand nuyen for making that thing break. So if they can, what they'll do is they'll shoot you and then sell your organs
Yeah,
to
that
make
sounds
up
fair.
for the damage.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay.
At least that's what you hear on the streets. I mean, you never know until it happens, but this is what people tell you.
Yeah, yeah. I
Then
mean,
again, Knight Errant has a lot of like in your circles because you know, most of the gang members tend to tell pretty tall tales about being in prison, and also they don't seem to like Knight Errant specifically, particularly very much.
okay. Well, there's no harm in sitting down, so I'm like, whoa, yeah, like, give it a break.
Okay, so we're just going for some fresh air. That's just standing up there, stretching your muscles a little, and then plunk down.
No,
again.
now I need to think, like
Oh, that's
one step at a time.
Yeah. You're saying that out loud, or just
Yeah, I'm saying that out loud, like, yeah,
rumbling voice? Now I need to think.
yeah, like, okay, no, one step at a time, like, sit down.
Okay.
Let's think.
Okay, that's better. This is going to go on your tab. You're in luck, Trogs. Trogs is actually a derogatory term for that's reminiscent of troglodyte, which plays on the fact that all orcs and trolls are stupid. Just so you know, he's a racist. Or he's being racist to you currently by saying Trogs. It's like nigger for trolls and orcs.
Well, I can't do anything about it right now, so.
Well, I just want to let you know
Yes,
that the tone that he's taking with you. Okay, change of plans, Trogs. We're going to drop you scum off at the next station. The roads north are blocked, and the good guy's going crazy. Looks like prison will have to wait for you a little.
Well.
And you can actually feel the thing take a sharp turn, and the sirens are going on. Sirens blaring, you're actually driving much faster now. Apparently, Grid Guide, usually when police comes, Grid Guide will actually make way when they've got the emergency lights on. So you're now racing towards somewhere else. You feel that you're getting down from the motorway, which is I believe the I-20 something, whatever. There's a name in Boston for that I haven't memorized. Bostonians can stone me to death afterwards. You can also hear a lot of other sirens as you drive in. You can hear a lot of other sirens. You can hear helicopters and what sounds like airplanes very close above you. There seems to be a lot of activity in the air, and it's not the usual like small drone transport private stuff. It sounds like a fucking earthquake is in the air as well. It's heavy duty helicopters. It's something that sounds like a fighter jet or something, and you can also hear machine gun fire.
Yeah,
going out incessantly.
I'm probably like shouting to the dude in the van, like, "Hey, what's going on out there?" Like,
he's not really inclined to speak to you.
I just sat down just for you. A bit more info, please.
Maybe you can charm him, or maybe you can intimidate
Can
him.
I?
I don't know. What's your social skills like these days?
Well, should we find out?
It's worth a try.
That's worth a try, I guess. Okay.
For the fun alone.
Yes. Okay. So what do we do here? Because I don't want to intimidate him, because that doesn't make sense at all currently.
You definitely get a couple of negative modifiers for trying that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more like I I was very forthcoming by sitting down. Like I feel like it at least. Like I'm like that was like I probably wouldn't need to, but I did it for him. So that's why I'm like friendly towards him, and I'm like, hey, you know, under friends because I just did a favor for you. Like, what's out there? Like, what do we do?
Okay, I think that's a good approach. You'll roll etiquette because you're trying to be polite.
That's perfect. It's just if -1 onto that. That's good. I guess I'll just go with it.
Yep. You don't have to add because you're in pain, but you don't for that particular roll because you're friendly. You don't need a negative modifier.
Oh, okay. Like I have 1 success on it, so
1 success. Yeah, doesn't do anything. Static is all you get.
All right, maybe I stand up and say, oh no, I don't stand up. I'm still sitting down. But but
And just now your microphone gave out.
yes.
We're eager to hear you.
Such a shame. Like I
is
don't
it
really...
back?
Yes.
It's back now.
Yeah. Okay. So I turned to him and I said, "There's no point talking to that guy. He doesn't give a shit about."
It's gone again.
We got as far as doesn't give a shit about us. I think we get the gist of it.
Yeah. I've no clue what's going.
We have to beep the rest out because it's just incredibly insane.
All right.
And offensive.
There
to
she is
humans.
again.
All right, here we go again. So I just say it obviously is some sort of war zone out there. We just need to stay in here until we're through it, and then we got to get out of here.
Boston is no war zone. It's just like the typical struggle thing. But there's a dragon out there. Like I want to know what's going up what's up out there. So
What does that change?
entertainment, whatever, information.
We'll get the information if we get out.
So how would you do that?
Well, I told you, I got my lock picking skills. You help me out, and I'll pick that lock. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I'm not staying up again. Let's probably see since we're not in prison. Like, let's wait for that like little knight errant facility because like since there's no prison, there'll probably less surveillance. So maybe you can do some shenanigans there.
Okay.
Good. Then, if nobody has any special ideas, you actually quickly be where you're supposed to go, and the van will stop. You can hear some shouting outside. Again, sirens blaring. You can still, in the distance, hear something that sounds like gunfire. And then the door is open for you, automatically, obviously. And you can see 6 heavily armed knight-errant guys, guns trained at you. Come out, slowly. The familiar voice of the driver says to you.
Oh, it's you again, my friend.
Some of the guards seem to notice that you don't have any constraints on you anymore, so they sort of take a step back.
I'm like, hands in the air. I'm like, chill.
Okay. So one of the guys who holds sort of a not a pad, but seems to have something that is in his palm, basically an actual palm computer. So it's looks at. Oh, so this is Cleaver, right?
You bet I am.
Good. Next one. You feel your restraints loosen.
Good.
Pull a punch. Is that you?
That's me.
Stand up.
I stand up.
Sit down.
I glare at them, and then
And your microphone came out again.
What's going on there? Honestly, it's crazy. But the good thing is she knows how to fix it, like somehow. Like
It's magically fixing itself from time to time.
Just winking at it. Wink
Yes.
3 times and then it works again.
Yeah. It doesn't do. No. No, still not. No, we can't hear you. Okay. I'll assume you're glaring at them, but you're sitting down.
oh,
Okay.
Oh, there it is. There she is.
hi.
Oh, there you are. Get back again.
Yeah, I glare at them and I slowly sit down as I'm glaring at them.
Okay.
I don't break eye contact.
Okay. That's a good goal. Now stand up again. Come here.
I stand up and walk very slowly
We
towards
don't have all day. Move it.
I take a deep breath and I walk a bit faster towards them.
Okay, good. Then what's you, pizza delivery guy? What's your name?
Yes.
Benito.
Oh, that's your name?
Benito, that's me, sir.
Stand up.
I stand up.
Turn around.
I turn around.
Turn around again.
What?
Again.
I do it again.
That's a good boy. Now come here.
I try to walk in a very military fashion that would make them assume that I had actual military training.
Do you have any impersonation skills at all?
Yes, I have.
Excellent. Roll those, please, and use your, I'm going to say, no, charisma, that's fine.
So I'm just doing the normal social skills.
Yeah, that's a normal roll, yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay,
4
excellent.
successes.
Yeah, you're pulling that off very well. You would swear he's got exercise, military training, at least in exercising. You don't know about his shooting skills, but he can walk like a true soldier. Okay, so the three of you get ushered still under the eyes of three armed guards. You basically start here and move through a door. You can see cameras and a drone hovering around here. That's also trained that it's gun on you. And you get walked into a corridor, again, armed guard to that side. And you get into a small office style room. The police station is actually very modern. So let me see if I can find a picture of that as well. If you look in your journals, you'll see something that's called Inside KE Station. That is a picture. Really quick, I don't know if you can show that.
I'm always showing that stuff.
Okay, the good folks outside. So you can see those two. That'll give you an impression of the nice modern facility that you're looking at. So you get walked through one of the corridors and end up in an office that's pretty much like the one you see there. So there's a big sort of table thing that's lit in a subtle fashion. You can see one guy sitting behind it, looking annoyed, mostly, and a little hectic. You also realize that there's a lot of running around in that night errant facility. You can see people moving. You hear vans leaving the station. So still a lot of activity around everywhere. Okay, he's just taking one glance at you. Yeah, put all of them in the cell. I don't care. And he's just sort of, apparently, well, he's not stamping really, but he's doing something that is sort of just approving that you're in. Okay, 3 prisoners, go, go, go. So you're then pushed on towards the cell that you find yourself in, 3 people. There's only 2 bunk beds in that cell. And there is a picture of the cell that's in the journals that's called Your New Home Away from Home. So if you want to look at that, you can see how the cell looks.
I'll make myself comfortable.
Which is really hard.
Wow.
None of the beds are troll-sized. You can't really fully sit down on the lower bunk bed. You can lie on it, but your legs are going to stick out.
So, well.
But you're used to that.
I'm still like lying down. I'm like, so what's up now?
Okay, so there's only one bunk for you left. There is a chair kind of thing. If you look at one of the pictures to the lower right, you can see the chair next to the table. You can also sit on the toilet, obviously, or you can lie on the bunk bed. Is anybody taking the upper bunk?
I jump up onto, because I've got gymnastic skills apparently. So I just leap up onto the top bunk.
Okay.
And sit.
So before Benito actually even is fully in the cell, all the bunks are taken.
I say, that's fine. And I sit down on the very small, uncomfortable chair.
Yeah, he's a very big guy for a very small chair. So you see him sort of flapping around a little and sort of flowing over the sides of it. But there you are, the merry band. And behind you, a plastic door slams shut. Again, thankfully, very little noise. You don't even hear the sirens blaring anymore. You don't actually hear much of anything. Very well insulated against any noise, apparently.
Do we see any kind of cameras or surveillance?
You want to do a perception check, maybe? Find that
Yes.
out. You roll your intuition. What's perception? I think. Is that a skill, actually? See,
Yeah, that's a skill.
Yeah,
So,
that seems to be appropriate.
Yeah. 5. Not bad.
Okay. What do you see? You do see a very. It's actually hard to notice. It's a tiny camera that's sort of on the top end, in the corner of the room. Seems to have some. Yeah, it's not autonomous, so it's mounted to. Basically, it's just sort of a hole in the wall, and it looks like a miniature spy camera.
Okay.
You don't see any other recording equipment because you have so many successes. What you do realize is when you heard the door closing, there was a little, like a sound of an electric current, like for a moment, which wasn't the hydraulics of the door, but hints towards the door being in some connection to something that also may be electric. Cool.
I'm like holding up the fist to you, and I'm like, by the way, Cleaver, since we're here inside and there's a dragon outside, I think it's fair to get to know each other. I'm like holding my fist onto you, like, you know.
To whom?
To you.
Well, then I just fist bump it.
I'm like
fist bumping it. It might have been a threatening gesture as well. You never know with these ganger types, but
I'll just take it.
Okay.
I'm the same. Like I'm since there's the Upper is lying like a hole punch. It's lying in the bed above, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like just like lying there, extending my arm upwards, and like Cleaver.
A huge troll fist coming up under the bed, basically.
Yeah, I think I kind of just look at the fist, and I roll my eyes and I say, "Not that it matters, but I'm hole punch."
What's up, Master Locksmith? No, not Locksmith. Like, what do you say?
Yeah, locksmith.
Yeah, locksmith. Yeah.
So, I thought you're getting us out of here.
You're actually not in. Yes, they took the restraints off, so you're not in restraints anymore.
Okay. I suppose.
Chop chop. And she's gone again.
Whenever you talk, the microphone just goes. Do you have something that's sort of a Skype? I think has that automated microphone check thing as well. Where you,
There she is.
It's back.
I don't know.
You're back.
Yeah, I know. I just have to unplug and replug my microphone, but then there's no like.
Okay. That's
There's
weird.
no.
Well,
There's nothing I can.
So,
at least we
so
have a
whenever
solution.
you actually try to talk, you just unplug it and plug it, and then talk.
Yeah, but then it seems to cut out again.
Yeah, weird. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm sorry, I've forgotten where we were.
I was basically trying to ask you in a very rude way if you could start working now and like get us out of here. And she's done. There.
I say it depends on the security systems they have here. Have any of you guys been in here before?
Maybe.
Never. I'm
Never
too
been in
good
prison.
to be taught
That's
usually.
almost hard to believe.
Well, I know that some of their cells have electric systems and some of them don't. But this looks pretty modern, so I'm just not sure.
I'm really sure the door is working with an electronic mechanism, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Well-
sure with electric as well. Like, check the lights. I mean, definitely power in here.
All right. Well, can I pick electric locks or can I only pick mechanic locks?
You can try to do that, both of which would require some sort of tool or some ability to actually interface with the mag lock. Usually, what they usually are is magnetic locks. So the mag locks would,
Right.
you would unscrew a panel, or you would need some sort of tool other than your finger to do that. That being said, you can try and do something totally awesome, and either spend edge in order to try and get there, or at least look at that with your knowledge of lock. So you would roll your lock picking skill plus your logic attribute.
Okay, well maybe I just take the opportunity to check out the lock and get an idea of what we're actually working with here, so I can work out what kind of tools we're going to need to make.
That seems reasonable. I'm just going to see. I don't think lockpicking is actually in 5th edition anymore or something, but do roll the skill and see what we come up with.
It says click and drag to roll the dice. What does that mean?
That's if you want to drag it to the.
I'll say disable.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's when you're rolling 3D dice. I saw that. Cool. Still one success. Okay. That's definitely a maglock mechanism. There doesn't seem to be any way to open it from inside the cell.
Okay.
Apparently, they didn't want people to get out.
Oh, that's strange. Like, can't imagine why.
Yeah, so then I turn to Cleaver and I say, there's no way we're getting out from in here. We're going to have to talk someone into letting us out.
Well, sure. Like, do whatever you need to do.
Are there any vent systems in here?
Yes. There's a ventilation system. There's 2 small grids. Again, on the top, opposite the floor, basically on the top wall, on top of the wall.
How high is the cell?
About 2.5 meters.
So basically 1 inch above the troll's head.
If that.
Okay.
How many people actually did we see when we came in? The one at the desk and like the 2 officers, or how many were they?
You only saw the one guy sitting behind the desk, and you saw an armed officer that basically just blocked the way, and a couple of doors, and they just ushered you into one of them, and there wasn't anybody else. You did notice another camera that watches over the corridor where the cells are.
Okay. Just like...
So,
sorry, go on.
No, I turn to Cleaver and point carefully towards the camera and tell him that there is a camera actually up there. And is it still hot in here?
No, they got a running ventilation system, so at least you're cool.
Okay, all right. So I'll just take off my upper clothes and pronounce loudly that I'm going to do some crazy sit-ups while in here, and throw my clothes up there in the corner so that they form like a shape in front of the camera, so it's blocking the camera in a hopefully natural way.
That is a great idea. The camera is not actually outside the wall. It's just really a tiny hole in the wall. That's why it's so hard to notice. And Peter's still looking at the hole in the wall where he's like, the camera would be, and he's like,
oh, you don't know that. You have no idea how perceptive I am.
That's true. Let's make a perception check, please, and we see whether you spot the camera.
I have no idea if I have perception. Like, Oh, I do. I do. No, I do.
Everybody has perception. It's just how well. That's the question. 2 successes. He's telling you something about something that you just don't see. It's just a wall for you.
Sure. Lie down again. I've been with some crazy people.
Should I have a look? See if I can see.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, hang on. I'm just trying to work out where I did. Okay, so perception.
Yep. Hey, rolling dice again. 2 successes. Again, he's saying that, but you don't really see anything.
Okay.
It's not inconceivable that there would be a micro camera, and optics being what they are, they can be pretty small, but you just don't see it. So either he's crazy or he's lying or both, or he's right and you're just too stupid to realize.
Well, currently I'm in Schrödinger's cat mode. It could be both. So I guess we'll find out.
Is there a that angle? Is there an angle that the camera does not catch?
That depends on the way the camera optical lens actually works. You don't know that.
Okay.
But if there would be, it's probably right below it or behind the desk that you're sitting at.
So is it just to be clear, is it above the bed or above the toilet?
The camera?
Yeah.
The camera is actually above the door. If you look at
right.
it's basically it's where you can. It's if you stand in front of the door, it's sort of in the upper right corner of that. And
So
the toilet's at the other end, and this is where the ventilation is as well.
so if we meddle with the door, the camera probably won't get that.
Probably it will.
All right.
Otherwise, it wouldn't really, like, logically, that would be a bit of a flaw in the security system. What you can do, however, if you put something in front of the camera that's large enough, then the camera will have seeing things.
The troll.
How big are the vents?
What, yay big?
Oh, okay.
And there's grids again, so it's just, this is where you feel the air coming in, so the ventilation is there, but it doesn't look like you could squeeze through in any way.
Okay.
I see there's a
That's maybe
plan
good
forming.
time because while you're thinking about stuff, let's re-examine why you're here and give us a bit of a background. So you may or may not tell that to the other people, so please don't treat that as character knowledge necessarily. But what brought you into prison, or what did they catch you doing? Benito.
Well, I was delivering pizza as always. I was visiting a gang house, and well, the people there, they forced me to either drink a keg full of beer or shoot me in the head. So I chose the keg of beer. And on the way back, I was stopped by some police officer being a little bit moody, and he checked my alcohol level. And the problem is that I have a criminal sin, which is like I'm registered in the system, and I have done some things. So I'm not really sure now if they know about the criminal sin yet, which would be terrible, or if it's just the DUI, which is fine.
No, of course. When you were checked into the whole system, you got obviously you immediately got recognized. You've got a criminal sin, and because you've had priors, your DUI actually went much harsher than it would have been if you were a first-time offender. This is the reason why you've got, even though you haven't damaged anybody and you haven't harmed anybody in this particular case, it's one of those 3 strikes you're out policies where they don't care what your even if it's a minor misdemeanor at that point, it's going to land you in prison. So you're in for 6 months. And there was sort of an automated, like the legal system has also been mostly privatized or automized, which means you didn't ever see a judge or anything. You just got, you got in. They basically punched in your ID. The system, probably some AI, applied the rules of the law, obviously completely neutral and objectively, and then you just got 6 months in prison. And
if Ork plus
there was nobody defending you or some stuff. You did forget whatever you know about those lawyer things that used to be the case. Lawyers are something that people can afford that have money. You don't. And that means you just got sort of pushed through the system. Okay, so you're in for 6 months. It's just important to remember that when you're staging a prison break, you want to weigh whether that's worth doing or spending 6 months in prison.
All right.
It's just one of those option things. Afro, what are you in for? We don't hear you. Takes some time to realize that the microphone's there. You just need to,
Am I here yet?
There you are.
Okay. So I saw a bunch of guys basically beating up on an orc kid, and so a bunch of humans, and I confronted them. And when things started to get nasty, I drew a gun, and as I drew the gun, a policeman or a police person, whatever they're called now, spotted me pulling the gun on the human and just basically took me straight in.
Okay. You also have a criminal sin, which means you've got priors. Reason for that we can go into when we look into the dark history of all of your characters. So again, you weren't actually at this point hurting anybody yet. You're very close to doing that probably. But since you've got a criminal sin, there were some sort of, well, I wouldn't say trumped up charges, because there was no threatening of manslaughter that actually happened. You threatened violence there. But the 3 humans that were beating up the orchid actually all testified against you. And since they were upstanding citizens, meaning they didn't have a criminal sin, obviously their testimony was judged by the eye as being much more truthful than your own. And the orchid actually ran away, so they couldn't ask the kid. If they could have asked the kid, they wouldn't have allowed his testimony in court because he's underage. So either way. Okay, so you actually, because it's a violent crime and you're a previous offender and the system isn't too nice to orcs, you're actually in for a year in prison for not having done much other than being an upstanding citizen. Okay.
Well, or not.
Lever.
Well, I have this new thing. Like I tried out some time ago. It's called like doing this Shadowrun thing. You know, because I needed some money. Because like the gang wasn't really an option anymore. So yeah, you try out this Shadowrun thing. You go in with a team. You break into something, and they then go out without you, and suddenly you're taking the blame. So well. It may have been illegal, but like I don't see it. I received more part of my job. Problem was just like that they kind of left me behind.
Okay, so you're basically the fall guy. They took you on. So there's a group of Shadowrunners there that realized that you were desperate for a job, and it's hard to break into the Shadowrunning business, despite what people say. It's actually not that easy. So you start low, starting with low jobs, lookout, something like that. And when they took you in, obviously you were kind of happy because it looked like a good payment and an easy job. And then they just sort of left you out there high and dry. And you don't have a criminal sin, but you have a reputation. Cleaver and you 2 guys, actually please roll your street knowledge.
Well, I should roll it. Me? I roll as well, or?
No, you don't need to.
Yeah,
you know
okay.
yourself.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Where is that one?
It's a knowledge skill. Let me see.
If you don't have it, you don't have it. That's I think.
Yeah, but it's a knowledge skill that should pop up. Where is knowledge skills? On the very low end of your.
I don't think I have that one.
It's called. In your case, it's Boston Life. You roll that one. That's the closest. Okay.
I actually forgot to add mine. I'm doing that right now.
Yeah. Okay, so 4 successes there, and Benito 1 success. You have Street Knowledge south side. Yeah. Okay. Because you've got the home ground thing, I would have actually given you another dice to roll, but not a big thing. Okay, so Cleaver has a bit of a reputation. He's not that well known from the Tridios, or he's not actually been made into a live action series, so you didn't know his face. But and Cleaver also not a very original name, so you weren't entirely sure. But it dawns on you that he used to be a bit of a known person in the Rocks, and the Rocks is short for Roxbury, which is sort of where Boston threw all the trash that it didn't want anymore, humanoid or otherwise, when it remade itself after the big quake. And so all the gutter rats and everything that's bad and poisonous and deranged ends up in the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And Cleaver was one of the gangs that was running with one of the gangs that controlled the rocks. And you're not entirely sure what exactly happened, but there was some. He earned his name by basically chopping people in half, is what you hear. So Cleaver was infamous running with that mad gang that, as we already mentioned, the only way to get into the gang is actually crash head-on a motorbike against the wall. And if you survive that, you can be a gang member. If not, you're either dead, so you didn't actually crash into the wall, then they don't need you, or you're not tough enough to be one of them. So he came in, he chopped off a couple of people's heads and limbs and other organs. And then there was some ruckus with the gang, and he sort of officially is not with the gang anymore, and the gang actually has put a price on his head. So they are eager to get that information in order so they can get him and kill him or maim him or both in necessarily that order. And yeah, he's got some reputation, which is why it's really hard for him to find a job, obviously, because anybody that employs him or works with him is going to get a lot of grief from the gang.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bit of a so he's a bit of a known person. Since that is the case, the AI that presided as a judge over his case assumed that he was guilty because he's got a reputation, and there is no reason why he would why his story of these other guys made me do it really would check out. So for the brunt of the problems, and since it was only a VLE job, so breaking and entering, it's not too bad. And weirdly enough, though he does have a reputation, he doesn't have any priors. So either he never got caught or they got erased or whatever. So he only got in for breaking and entering, and he's got 3 years because he's also considered to be a public menace.
Oh, fuck.
Already, not even being in prison, he already damaged the prison ban. So obviously his reputation is well deserved. Okay, so Cleaver is in for 3 years, Benito is in for 6 months, and Whole Punch is in for a year. And now we also know why you're in and what you're in for. And you had thought about breaking out of that in some way or doing something with security. And I want to invite you to do that again, now that we know a little bit more about you and your companions. What are you going to do?
Just out of curiosity, because like how my brain works is about like examining the toughness of physical things. So the question is like, how stable is the door?
Oh, here's how that works. Barriers have 2 ratings. One is structure and one is armor. If you attack a barrier, which is basically what you're trying to do if you're going to break through the door or punch a hole in the door, you're going to roll your damage value for the attack. In this case, you're unarmed, which is, I think, strength plus nothing.
Strength plus unarmed, actually.
Okay, then you're going to roll that as an attack because the door can't really evade you in any way. You're just automatically going to hit it. But it has an armor value, and unless your damage dice that come up as a success, so your net successes, equal the armor value, you're not going to do anything other than hurt yourself, probably.
Yeah, but like I've smashed things before, so I kind of know like how what I can probably break open or break through. So the question is,
okay. Okay, so you want to do a perception. Basically, look at the door and sort of judge how well built it is.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'll do that then. Wait, there we go.
Okay.
But I should say that I have like pure experience, so I should have gotten modifier onto that.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. Roll it again and give yourself a 2 die modifier.
Oh, thank you very much. That's how it.
Oh.
There you go. And there
Very
we go.
kind.
Yes, it is.
And there's your 2 successes.
What I'm saying.
Okay. So you look at the door, and I'm going to give you relatively exact numbers, and you can make the calculations yourself.
Okay.
The armor of that door, because it's a plastic-cleat security door, so apparently, again, they didn't want people to get out for some reason. So they
Strange.
kind of have a reinforced door as a door. Which means it's got an armor rating that's probably somewhere between 10 and 12. So unless you do 10 to 12 hits of net damage, you're not going to put a dent in it. The structure is probably going to be less. So you're guessing if you did something like 8 to 10 damage to it, you probably could at least bend it in some way. If you do more than 16 damage, you'd probably break it.
And since it can't evade, all my hits from the unarmed combats skill are net.
Can't, but it resists with armor plus structure, so it rolls between 10 and 20 dice, between 18 and 20 dice against your damage.
Okay, let me see.
We need some kind of tool.
No,
This is why people use tools often to do stuff. Because brute force will only get you that far.
What about, is the toilet flushing with water? Or is it like some new kind of modern shit with just blowing hot air down the...
Yeah, no, they wouldn't give you water. Also, the water that they're flushing the toilet, like water is pretty expensive since the harbor cleanup project has been going on. It's getting better, but by and large, the NEMA, the Northeast Metropolitan Area, so the part of the metro, huge mega city that Boston is now part of, that has water is dear to them. So they're not going to flush that down the toilet. No, they're using some non-adhesive material. It's still smelly, but again, they don't seem to care. But it does the job. It's going to be hard to get anything stuck on that toilet. It's just going to sort of glide down.
That's good to know. Important.
Yeah, thanks for the description.
Considering I don't know what comes out of trolls, but I don't necessarily want it to stick around, so...
Yeah.
We could use that as a tool.
For what, though? For what?
So there's only one guard, right?
Well, there's one guy sitting in that office that you passed. There's
How
definitely
often?
more people in the whole. It's a police station. It's basically a big night errant station. So
Right, but how often do they come around? How often do they check on us?
not yet, not once yet.
Oh.
But you're only in there for like 20, 15, 30 minutes something.
Okay.
And I'm just looking at where's barriers, attacking barriers. Yeah.
So maybe I see Cleaver kind of checking out the door.
Yeah, you probably do. I'm
I
like
see him
staring
checking out
at the door.
And I kind of I sit up in the bunk and I look at him and I just kind of stare at him and say, like, and what's your plan once you get through that door?
Shh, shh, shh. Thinking.
You realize that
Might
he's
take a
just
while.
he's implying that he's thinking about the plan after he's through the door, or is he thinking about what he's going to do once he does that? It's not entirely clear from his answer.
Well, actually, like to clear this up, I'm actually thinking if I can break through a door. So I'm not past that yet. So... Sorry, again, what?
So
When he says one step after another, he doesn't mean one step after the other. It's not like there's a lot of advanced planning there.
are you really considering breaking down the door and standing within a night errant station?
Yes.
Armed people everywhere.
Yes.
All right, good to know. Just
We don't hear you again. Acro. Or you just maybe you're speechless
I
as
haven't
well.
said anything.
Yeah, there she is.
So maybe I kind of say to them, look, maybe the best way out of here isn't with force, but if we can get a guard in here, then maybe we could take his uniform and just walk right out.
Yeah, I don't see it. Like I like looking down at my size.
Who said anything about you being the one who became a guard?
Oh, sure. Because they have so many orcs in here. But yeah, let's do that.
There is a couple of orcs on the force. You didn't see any coming in particularly. Also, again, the knight errant guys seem to be having a bit of a racism issue with their employees, but there's orcs on the force in general. That's
Okay, then.
entirely
Okay.
possible.
So maybe I look Benito up and down and I say, "How are you? How are you with your acting? How's your acting skills?"
It's spot on. Why? Do you think about luring a guard in here?
Yeah, well maybe if we can get a guard in here, then we can have you walk us out.
All right. So how do we get a guard in here?
Okay, so
Stage a fight? Pretend
Well-
to be sick?
if you're right,
And you're gone again.
Just when it gets to the good parts. I don't know how that's.
so,
Oh,
so
there's-
if you're right about the position of that camera, then we need to get in a fight with him. And then I look right at Cleaver.
Oh, you don't want to get in a fight with me?
No, you
Just
idiot. We're not-
pretending.
Still fight.
Sure,
It's a pretend fight.
sure.
You're not entirely sure whether he understands the concept of a pretend fight.
Oh, I do. Sure.
Yeah. So who do you want to fight? Her or me?
Oh, you.
All right.
No, you have to fight. You have to fight me, man, because we need him looking pristine, so he looks right in that uniform. We can't have him with a black eye.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. She's absolutely right.
Sure. Okay. Well, let's go then.
I so would have loved to get into a fight with him, but unfortunately can't.
Okay, then I'll start, I guess.
Okay, so hang on. I get down from the bunk, and I look him right in the eye, and I say, "So remember, this is not real."
I'll look her in the eye as well, and I wanna see if I can intimidate her.
That's a good idea.
May I?
Yes, of course.
Okay, perfect. Let's see.
You roll intimidation, and she rolls her willpower plus. Let's see, what's the skill? Probably intimidation as well. You're basically doing a staring contest. So yeah,
Okay, where's that one? Main, willpower.
social. Yeah, it's the social skills. You should have.
It's basically under skills, and then
skills?
it's social skills, and
Okay.
there is intimidation.
Intimidation. And what was the other one?
That's
Willpower.
it. Willpower is what intimidation usually has anyway, right? Or is it charisma?
It's charisma.
It's
Okay.
charisma.
Then what you do is you just use look at the difference between your charisma and your willpower, and just use that as a modifier. So if your
Oh, okay,
willpower
cool.
is whatever it is, we don't hear you.
Yeah, you're not saying anything again.
Saying something, but we don't hear it. If a tree falls in the forest, okay, there's a roll. That's 4 successes. Let's see how you calculated that. It's willpower and charisma, so it's 2 dice less for your roll than you usually get. So it's a negative modifier of 2 dice.
Oh, negative modifier.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
for
think I
that.
put in a positive modifier.
Yeah, I think as well.
Okay, sorry, I'll try again.
Yeah.
Intimidation -2.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That's 1 success, and now let's see how intimidating the troll is.
3.
3. Okay. You do keep up for a bit. You know, both of you stare at each other. You're basically staring up at the troll, and you know there is that moment where it seems like he's a little bit impressed about your, you know, basically because of your spunk.
Then I smiled.
And then he smiles, baring his teeth, and you just realize that he's massive. Like he's just a really big, muscular guy. And then you realize that this is Cleaver, the person that is known to cut people into half.
And
Yeah.
and then I'm saying, you sure?
You're kind of like all the energy that you collected and put in that stare kind of sort of dissipates.
Okay. Well, in that case, maybe I look at him after that and I say, look, like, you're alpha dog here, man. Like, it's all good. You don't have to worry. But I need you to follow my lead. And can I roll maybe for leadership or something like that and see if he'll follow me?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay, let me see. All right, leadership.
Should I go with leadership against it? Because I want to be the alpha male here.
Yes, it's leadership plus willpower in
Oh,
this
sorry.
case.
I didn't.
No, for you it's leadership plus charisma, and he's got to roll leadership plus willpower against that. So again,
Can't I go with charisma?
no, I'm sorry.
Okay, let me see. Charisma, willpower. Okay, there we go. Modifiers are 0, right? So.
The modifier is 0, but you use a modifier difference between willpower and charisma.
Oh, I just used my willpower for it instead of charisma.
That works as well.
Okay.
So 1 success for that and 1 success for leadership. So you're kind of you don't have to take any instructions from her. I mean, you can follow her lead if you want to, but it doesn't seem like he's particularly impressed by what you're saying.
I'm shrugging and say, go on.
Okay, cool. So we begin our fake fight. How do we do that?
I'll begin a fake fight. I'll try to subdue her.
That's not a fake fight. That's actually hurting her and making her unconscious.
Maybe acting. This would be acting,
is
right?
actually what a fake fight would look like.
Okay.
And you get a positive modifier if you've got unarmed combat.
Oh, that's good because I have no acting, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't show up.
Don't I?
It
I have
Doesn't really know how
performance.
to fake it.
I have performance and impersonation and con. Do any of those help?
Performance is what you want to do because that's the performance.
Okay, so I add my unarmed combat skill onto that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I see.
I think I have that as well, don't I? Physical skills. No, I don't. Do I?
I don't think you've got unarmed combat. I think you've got blades and guns.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 successes. That's actually decent for not being an actor.
Yep.
And I roll performance as well?
Yes.
Just with
Don't.
no modifiers?
No.
Charisma?
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
I'm better than you. Just saying.
At pretending to fight.
Yes.
Okay, so both of you pretend to fight. And Benito is being sort of an audience to that. It's not entirely convincing. One of the things that seems to happen is that you've never really tried to pretend fight, because either it's a fight or it isn't.
I see where this is going.
No, it's not. It's not. You're not hurting yourself in any way. There would have been glitches involved if that was the case. But you're basically just doing it like you see in the Tridios. It's like Ooh! So it looks it's a little overacted maybe, and also because he's pulling the punches, he's punching really slow. And so that means usually when you roll, you sort of roll away before the punch actually impacts. And maybe to sort of because you're grunting and shouting a lot doing it, maybe to sort of the casual passerby that could look like an actual fight, but Benito is just like. It's you wouldn't like this if you saw that on the streets. You wouldn't even bother stepping up anything. It's just pitiful. It's not pitiful. It's okay for newbies, but it doesn't feel like you're really in it.
Right.
Let's see if it gets a reaction. I mean, you don't have to win the Oscars. You just have to confuse the. Okay. There's a sort of a metallic voice coming from a hidden loudspeaker. Stop that, or we're gonna gas the lot of you.
The gas. Wait. Like, how can that work? Like, how is the door? Like, how does the door work? Is it like, it's not a cell, right? It's like a solid door.
It's a solid door. It's not. There's no iron grid. It's just a solid door.
I see.
And it doesn't have a handle or anything. It just slides open.
I guess. I see. I see. Okay.
So maybe I like grab my face or something and I say, and I yell out, I need a doctor! I need a doctor!
The oldest trick in the world.
There's another performance in the waiting.
Should I do it again?
Yes, please.
At this point, I'm just stopping and I'm like, oh, fuck this. And I'm sitting down.
Okay.
Not the best performance, unfortunately. You're just not an actress kind of person. It doesn't come natural to you.
Great
So
impersonation
you really
abilities.
like, I need a doctor. I need a doctor. Blood. And you know,
This doesn't even look real to me. And at this moment, I'm thinking if I should really punch her, so she needs a doctor. But yeah, I'm hesitant to do that.
So you realize the big troll is looking at you, and again he's looking at you like you looked at the door. You're not entirely sure, but you think he's calculating how much it would take to actually break you.
Right. I look him dead in the eyes and I say, as if I was your mother.
Okay. And that's some kind of orc insult, probably, but
No, it's kind of like
I know.
but as if I were your mother.
Yeah.
So I'm giving him permission to hit me for the sake of getting attention.
Okay.
I'm not
You
sure
can't
what
take
to
it
do.
anymore. It's just walking out the cell. I'm not going to be part of that. Okay. So apparently she is giving you. She's somehow hinting that you may actually be allowed to hit her if you do it gently.
Yeah, I need to think about that. I'm back in a second as well, and then on the way I'll decide if I want to punch you or not. So
Okay, so we'll have here's what we do. We have a 3-minute break.
Yes.
Everybody can go to the toilet.
Yes,
And
exactly.
we'll see all of you back in the cell.
yes,
Great.
3 minutes. See ya.
Right back.
Oh, what happened?
So they actually all went out of the cell, but you weren't there, so they left you back.
Ha! No way! Ah,
Yeah, but you see, they're gone. So
well, finally there's some space for me. I lie on the bed. I finally go to the toilet alone.
exactly, and you can actually lie on both bunks. Yay! I'll take the upper one. No, I'll take the lower one. What's it going to be today? Glorious. No, we just had a 3-minute break. So
Ah, okay, all right.
I'm gonna spend the time wisely, looking things up, as well I should. Ah, okay.
Hello.
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 I don't know, the troll is already with us? No, he isn't. Just a little further away, this toilet apparently.
M&M's, yeah.
Oh, you're eating healthy.
Yeah.
Here.
Grape and pepper bell. It's disgusting.
Yeah. I have one health food thing.
I have 0.
You're just going on M&Ms.
M&M's and Girls chips. Literally nothing healthy.
That's doing it properly. All that newfangled vegetable stuff. I don't believe in it. It's a fad. It will fade.
Okay, I'm back.
Yay!
Hey.
Do we still have anybody listening and viewing, or have we?
4 people, and 2 of them are my people, I think.
Yay.
Actually, it's fluctuating. So, like, thanks to all the people who are still staying with us. In the beginning, we've been around 10 people. Then we've gone down to 5. We've gone up to 7. Now we're back at 3. So, I think in the beginning it was
We're
like
really popular, is what you're saying.
well.
Super popular.
So.
Top-rated stream right
And
now.
we are back up again. So.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this for the people at home. I'm doing this for us.
Yes. No, it's honestly, it's like that's why we do it, right? So thank you for staying with us. For all the ones out there, I'm not checking the chat, so.
So screw you.
No, I'm actually checking the chat from time to time. But if you like writing something, I can't react immediately to it. But like, still, thanks for hanging out with us, and let's see if we can get out of this prison at some point.
Right. So, okay, last time around, you pretended to have hurt yourself.
And we failed.
Oh yeah, and
given the troll permission to actually hurt you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if like I really want to do that. Like the only thing which would probably happen that really gas us. I don't want to be gassed. It sounds not good. And I also don't want to hurt you because like I need your lockpicking skills. So I'm not going to hurt you. So that's
in that case, I turn to Benito, and I say,
"Oh, he's expendable. That's true. Like."
And if you hit me, it actually looks like I'm hurt. So that's a good thing.
Or I ask him if he's willing to hit me.
By the way, like they're probably listening into us, or do they just don't care? Probably they probably just look at the camera and they're like, ah.
Maybe we should just wait until someone comes, and maybe they tell us something that we want to know or should know.
So basically, want to wait and just sit it out here.
Wait it
I think
out.
that's the prison attitude that we need. Just wait and sit it out. It's only going to be 6 months. I mean, it's going to be over before you know it.
Yeah, I'm the first one out.
Yeah.
There's a fucking dragon outside. So I mean, like on the other hand, maybe we should stay in here.
It's probably the safest place in the city right now.
Yeah, it probably is actually.
While you're using your options, you can hear a computerized voice, a friendly female computer voice. Attention, all personnel. Code 17. I repeat, code 17. Please move to your designated posts.
Well, the good thing is we're already at our designated post, so that's
Does
good.
anyone know code 17?
Yeah, do we know?
I don't know. How well are you? How familiar are you with police procedures?
Not at all.
Well, I have a lot of street knowledge, and they have probably a lot of police knowledge.
I don't have any police knowledge or.
Okay. Let's see. You can always just try a logic and see if you picked it up in some way. If you have a street knowledge, just look at your character sheets and see if there's anything remotely.
Intuition, maybe?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, if there's just a generic street knowledge skill,
Yes.
like then you can do that, and you get a minus. I would say -2 modifier.
Okay,
-2?
Yeah.
that worked.
Whoa.
3.
You've got 3 successes.
Yes.
Your street knowledge skill,
It's 4.
and you've got a -2 modifier.
Yeah, and I have 3 intuition.
You roll 2 dice.
No, I rolled 7 dice, and then I rolled 5
Intuition,
dice.
street knowledge.
Oh, it's 4 because you've got a high street knowledge, and then
Exactly.
there's your. Oh, okay. Sorry for that. I thought you just had that.
No.
Okay. Code 17 is actually an intruder alert.
That sounds promising. So I'm actually standing up and like, oh, seems we're not alone. Get ready. I have no idea for what. I'm just saying it.
I hope that was your character speaking.
Yes. Like, no, not the second sentence, but the first one. Like, get ready. That's it. I didn't say more.
I'm hiding behind him. It seems right.
Yeah. That's a good way to get ready. It's also easy to hide behind him because basically between him and the bed there is sort of a solid wall of something between you and the bed.
I flex my fingers instinctively because I have no gun to put my hands around, and I'm missing it.
Yeah, you feel pretty naked and a little defenseless. Okay, so you're all sort of, the adrenaline goes pumping. You're looking at the door. You're waiting for something to happen. You're listening. Nothing. You spending maybe like a minute or two in an alarmed state seems an eternity. If you just count slowly to under 20, you realize that how long 2 minutes can be. And still nothing. What are you going to do?
I'm still waiting.
Okay.
I'm putting my t-shirt back on.
That sounds reasonable.
That seems to be advisable. Yeah.
We hear nothing, right? Like, there's nothing outside.
You don't hear anything.
I want to hit the door now.
Okay. You take a step towards the door and suddenly the lights go out. And it's completely and utterly dark.
Perfect. I'm hitting where I think door will be.
Yes. Now you've all got some sort of thermographic vision, I think, because orcs and trolls do have that. If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah.
So thermographic vision is like the sort of infrared stuff that you see. So you can see each other pretty clearly because you're emitting warmth. You can also see the ventilation a little because the air, whilst cool, is not as cool as its surroundings. So you can see sort of the flimming thing. You don't see the door that well, but you do see sort of the frame around it. Apparently your cell is a little cooler than the other side. So you have a good idea about where the door is. You don't get any negative modifiers, and you can just punch away.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Or do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I'm now trying to like tackle the door, basically.
Okay. You just roll your dice.
I guess I do that then. 2. Well, that sounds not much.
Okay. You are throwing yourself against...
Oh, wait, but it's only the net hits, right? Like, that's
net hits plus your damage, which I think is your strength.
Okay, well, that's...
Well, let's see, is that the case? Let's see if... I think unarmed attacks are strength plus nothing.
I have no idea, honestly. I actually have... Well, wait, I have the book here. Let me see.
Yeah. You can actually add +2 dice if you're making a pass. If you're really running at the door, you
Yes.
get another dice.
Oh, so I try again? That sounds good. Good then. 5 now. Perfect. That sounds good.
5 successes plus your strength, I'm going to say, and a little bit about your body because you're actually throwing yourself into that.
So
Meanwhile, Benito and I are standing on the toilet huddled together to give him as much space to run up as possible.
I'm
That
currently
sounds awesome.
I'm currently at 14, and I have not calculated my body so far.
You're at 14.
Yes, and I've not calculated my body now. Like, now you tell me how much of a body I can add to that.
Your strength is 9.
Yes.
Impressive. I'm going to say halve your body. Because
Okay.
it's a math thing, really.
So I'm at 18 now.
So you're at 18.
Round it down.
The armor of that door is 12, so you're actually doing possibly doing damage. I'm going to roll my 20 dice and see how much of that damage I can withstand. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 11. So you're doing 7 damage to the door.
Sounds good.
That is impressive. So, okay, so you see him, well, not running at the door because the sort of distance is limited. But he's throwing himself fully into that door frame, and you can see the door bulk a little. So there's a noticeable dent in that steel door that he just made. If you've ever tried to run against a wall with full force, you can realize how much damage that just did. It is really impressive. Also, because it's 18 damage dice, I'm going to see whether the door hurts you a little.
I guess that could happen.
Against the door like that, you're going to take some damage. That's 5 damage, stunned.
Okay. So I actually need to see how much I can take. I have, like, how much can you take stun damage? Like willpower, blah, 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 something?
The same, it's willpower plus body. No, let me see. I should know that by heart, but I don't.
Actually, I see it on my character sheet, never mind. So, okay.
On the character sheet,
I have a pretty big headache right now.
Willpower divided by 2, rounded up.
Yes, I see. Okay, I have a pretty big headache right now, or something like that.
If that runs over, you get actual physical damage.
Yeah, it doesn't do it, but still.
Okay.
Also, like, how much do regenerate per hour, or like per nap, so to say?
You regenerate if you actually have a serious amount of rest.
I see. Okay, yeah. Good then. So I'm shaking a bit, and I'm like, okay, next one, please.
Oh. Yeah.
How many times are you going to try that?
Oh, like, that was my last try, and now it's your turn. I'm sitting down on the bed, I'm like...
So maybe I ask him then how good he is at making, like, how good are you at making tools? Like, if you're so strong, right? Then how, like, if I give you a piece of metal, can you bend it into a shape I need?
I'm still shaking, and I'm like, what? Sorry.
That's still ringing a bit.
Depends on the metal.
Just to make sure that there are no misconceptions, there is no metal inside your cell. It's all plastic stuff.
Okay.
Which doesn't mean that you can't bend it or break it and use it in some way, but there's no steel frame or something.
So if I actually would try to do a similar thing, what's the roll for that?
You roll an unarmed attack.
Which I do not have.
Well, you can still roll that then with a -1 modifier, I think. And you add your strength and you add your agility. So it's normal unarmed attack. The net values of that unarmed attack go into your damage, and the damage is going to be strength plus half your body.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that then.
Okay.
So it's agility -1 or 2.
Well, you just roll your unarmed combat. You should be on a character sheet.
Yeah, it should automatically do it for you.
Where is that?
It's...
You may have to unblock the physical skills or combat skills.
Combat skills.
Hide unused. Yeah. Show all.
Yes.
All right. So it's combat. Unarmed. Roll.
That's one net success. That's one net success more than you would have if you had.
Oh, but he has +2. He needs to re-roll because he also charges.
You get a +2 modifier because I said so.
All right, then +2.
Because you're charging as well. Assuming you're charging.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you
Put
run
my
at the
whole body
door,
into it.
full strength, get 2 successes, add your strength plus your half your body to that, and let me know the damage.
So that's 3 from strength, 2 net successes, and half 4, so 9. 9 rolls.
Well, that's
not
decent.
enough to go through the armor. of the door, so you're only you're doing stun damage to the door, which the door doesn't recognize. But let's see how much it hurts you. And in return, it doesn't hurt you at all. So you really didn't give it everything, I think. So he's the class. This is sort of the classic movie thing. He's going, jumping against the door. Not really. Hasn't done much, apparently.
Yeah, I think I'm the wrong guy for this door.
I don't know. Maybe she doesn't have a guy. So so what are you doing now?
Yeah, since I can't.
Lights go on. So there's sort of a small red light that's near to where the camera is. That's going on, and it sort of dimly lights the cell.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything now. There's the door, and it's I can't get through it. So,
is anything in the cell is there anything that we could remove and use as a tool? So I'm still thinking about lockpicking, but I'm just trying to think if there's any way we can fashion a tool.
The only thing really there is the bed frame, which is made of some sort of plastic. You don't know what that substance, how that substance will behave, like shatters, or maybe you can get some sort of flat, sharp thing out of it. Maybe not. You would have to destroy the door frame, the bed frame, in order to see.
Right.
What about the toilet then? What material is it?
That's plastic as well.
So, but there is a frame.
This is actually part of the wall. It's not screwed in any way. This is just one thing that's just sort of.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for me it's now waiting. I don't see any other way out. So.
Yeah, I think I look at the two of them. I look at the fact that Cleaver is basically looking like he's seeing stars, and I'm thinking I'm not going to try that. I know better. So I think I just take my position back on my top bunk and I just sit cross-legged and I don't know, just wait.
Be zen about it.
Be zen about it.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Well, okay. I'm recuperating now.
You're recuperating. Takes about an hour, and then you can make a body plus willpower extended test, which means you can. Every hour you can roll, and the hits that you get are the amounts of stun damage that you'll heal.
You tell me then when it's time.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit. Unless you do something, we can just sit there and wait, and we'll see if the first aid actually does anything. Oh yeah, do any of you have first aid?
What's that under?
I'm guessing skills.
I'm guessing that means you don't have it.
I don't think I have it.
Nope.
Definitely
not a helpful person in this group.
Yeah, we're a pretty unhelpful group. I need guns. I need guns. I got
lots of guns.
You know about the destroying thing, but the mopping up afterwards, that's other people's jobs.
Exactly.
I get that with a lot of Shadowrunners. I'm just gonna. Well, you can roll first aid even though you don't know it.
Okay.
Let me see what's the appropriate.
It's logic.
And what skill group done there? Is it engineering skill? No, it's
scientific.
Scientific.
Can I just do it, or could I do some serious damage?
Well, if you glitch, you can always do damage. Glitch means
that sounds great. I'll do that.
Once, then at least half your rolls come up.
So what exactly is the orc doing?
I'm looking at your head.
Well, there's no harm in looking, I guess.
I'm like activating some chakra points in your head.
At least he's selling it.
Yeah, I'm not letting you touch me.
Oh.
Well, there's one success. So you don't actually do anything because
I'm not letting him touch me.
because he doesn't let you touch him. Yeah. Yep. Well, you could have done some good, but yeah, as he's not really letting you touch him, It looks like he's got a mild concussion, is what you think.
Okay, I'll tell him that.
Should
I don't think
try?
he understands me, but I'll still tell him that.
I'm not stupid. Of course I know what a concussion is.
Should I try as well?
Try to touch him.
If he allows it.
Seduce him.
So maybe I look at him and I say, "Can I try
Try what?
to heal you? To help heal you?"
Well, you're a fucking magician or what?
I guess we'll find out.
I have a wife, sorry. So thanks for the offer, but
So tell us about your wife then.
well, she's not technically my wife anymore. But what do you care?
Well, you brought her up. I thought it would be a nice topic to have.
My head rings. It would be actually cool if all of us stayed a bit quiet here, maybe.
Well, unless anybody got any other plans, it's going to be sitting and waiting. You're still in the dark. There's nothing to be heard from the outside. And then maybe sort of 15 minutes into what seems an eternity of you just sitting there and not talking, you can hear something that sounds a little like screaming. And it must be really loud because it's the first thing that you can actually hear outside the cells. And then you hear two shots ringing out, like sort of massively reverberating. So you guess shotgun.
Now we're talking. Someone's doing something.
And then you hear a scream again. And that scream, I don't want to say it doesn't sound human because there could be more control, but it doesn't sound humanoid even. It doesn't sound like pain. It's unlike anything you've ever heard, really. It sounds like one of those things out of those monster horror scripts that you know they do in Japan and that can get delivered via and that are forbidden here, and where there's live action dismembering of people and stuff like that. So it sounds a little like that, just more insane.
Benito?
Yeah?
I think I'm ready to talk about my wife now.
Why? Does she sound like that?
I give you the fist bump again, like.
I see in the dark.
Face.
Okay, so if we combine our strength, can we push the door together? Can we do something when we're acting together?
Yeah, I'm not running against the door anymore, I
The
guess.
question is, do we want to? Do we want to go out there?
Yeah,
with
we want
whatever
to
that
go out
is?
there. Like I'm not staying here and let whatever this is like catch up on us. I mean, like we could really try. I could do a last desperate attempt to go through the door, but if I do now, like you know what happens? Like if I run against this, I probably would go unconscious, and that's the thing I really don't like.
All right. What about hole punch? Are you ready to punch that hole?
I punch holes with guns, not with fists. That's my problem.
She's got delicate hands.
Yeah, look at these beautiful pianist's fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's wait a bit because if there's shotgun dudes outside, let's see what's
Yeah,
let's see.
shotgun doesn't sound like what the guard would have. It sounds like something
Oh yeah.
someone else.
No, that's actually standard issue.
Oh,
like,
okay.
because they go for just mowing down everything. That's
Right,
the thing.
okay. All right. No worries.
Okay. The screaming stops after a while. It seemed very long, but in reality, it probably was just something like 2 or 3 minutes. And then nothing. And more nothing.
Oh fuck it! I go against the door. Ah.
That's my voice.
Is he healed again? Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's a good question. Like you said, like every 3 I get like minus. I already have -2, I guess. And you're not talking Apero. Oh no,
Apero-
no,
yes,
you don't can't. Yeah, exactly. Still not back.
Stun damage.
But what about Burning Edge? Is that a right thing to do now?
Well, I'm using Edge more likely, I guess.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe I beg him to let me attempt first aid on him before he gives it another try.
Yes, do it. If you
Okay.
if you formulate it like that, then that's easy. Like.
All right. So I don't. There's no modifiers, right? I just roll first aid by itself.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
Aww.
that's promising.
Aww.
It's a gentle touch that does it, but in this case, it actually doesn't do anything other than you don't even feel it.
Good.
Right.
No, I'm now pulling everything together. I'm using Edge for this. I'm now going against this fucking door. Honestly, like.
Let's get out.
By the way, you're not going to be unconscious when you exceed your stun.
Oh, I'm not.
Monitor. No. You're just in pain, and you're just gonna go over into physical damage at that point.
Okay. Well, that's okay. I mean, like the problem is the wound modifiers. They really stack up at some point.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, I see. So the thing is, like, I'm not sure how to roll Edge here. Oh, actually, I can, right?
Yeah, you can. I think the character.
Yeah, I just did it. Switch to pre-edge rolls. Yeah, now I'm edge mode, I guess.
Cool. That's edgy. You can also teamwork, which means you can combine your efforts. And the way that works is there's only 2 of you that actually can get there. The way that works is that you basically one of you rolls, and the results that he's getting are carrying over to the next person. Now, usually in a combat, that would just be sort of a net hits, but since you're both just running at the door at full speed, I would add half the damage that the first person does to the damage that the other person does, and then that's gone.
So what's the main consideration here? Is it body or strength?
It's strength and half body.
Okay, so what's Benito's body and strength in that case?
Body is 8 and strength is 3. So
Benito
Okay.
runs first.
7.
So Benito is better than me in that case. To be the other person to share that.
To share the experience, the cleaver experience, you mean?
Yeah. Cleaver experience. Cleave experience. So I just keep sitting there, being all zen, letting the boys do whatever they feel they need to do.
Yeah, letting the boys run at solid walls because, that's what they're good at.
Have fun, boys.
Yeah, that's what I'm good at. So.
It actually is what you're good at. Basically so.
Okay then, I think.
So let's Benito roll first and add whatever he's getting in terms of damage to.
So is it now unarmed combat again, right?
Yeah, you're rolling unarmed combat.
+2.
+2. That's true. Because you're running at it.
Wow.
Gives you 1 full success.
Well, it's 4 because of your strength plus half body.
Exactly. That's 8. That's 8 damage, and let's just, for the fun of it, see how much damage the door does back. 2, 4, 6, 8, and you get 2 stun damage for that.
All right.
That's not even a problem for you currently. It's just a little pain in the shoulder. And now, Cleaver.
So I'm using edge rolls now. I have no idea what it does. I normally, like, dices can explode. I have no idea if the program does it. I think so.
Okay, so what happens if you add edge? I had that. In this case, you're trying to not push. Well, you're pushing the limit. That's what it's called. So you can use your edge in the following ways. All your 6s explode, which means when you roll a 6, you roll that again, and if that's a 6 as well, you roll it again. And I think you can add your edge rating to your test as well. dice pool modifier.
Like the thing is, what I don't know is like if the program does it for me, because I'm now switched to edge rolls. I have no idea if this auto calculates stuff. We'll see, I guess.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it does that either. How much edge do you have?
2. I just rolled 9 successes, so I think it did it.
Because you only have 11 dice according to that, but you've got 2 edge, so yeah, it does that. So that's 9 successes, and you add your strength.
Yeah, that's true. So wait, my strength is 9, so it's 18 plus half body. I'm at 20. Wait, 4, right? So I'm at 22 right now. Plus Benito.
Plus Benito is giving you another 8, if I remember correctly. That's 30 damage to that door.
Please let me break this.
That sounds like a lot.
This could destroy a tank. It's definitely going to kill the door. There's no doubt about that. You want to see. You want to do a damage resistance roll at that point, because it becomes. This is not pain anymore. It's physically impacting the door to a point where it feels like you're running into a steam train, or a steam train is running into you.
Well then.
So you want to do a damage resistance against whatever I'm rolling. Can you do that roll?
I guess.
Whoa. And let me know how many successes you come up with. 2, 4, 6.
Well, since I don't run any armor, it's just my body plus my
Yes.
armor. Okay.
Yes.
Well, let me see. Let me see. But damage resistant tests don't care about wound penalty, I guess. So,
No, they don't.
then let's go. Apply wounds? No. Submit. 5. Oh, that's okay.
That's good. That means you only get another 8 damage.
Well, okay. That's physical, right?
That is physical if you're through the stun damage at that point. Just
No, I'm
overflow.
not. Well, I am, kinda, but like...
Yeah, you'll just go over there.
Yeah, okay, I see.
When you run out of stuff. Actually, since you're breaking the door, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to half that.
Half that? Oh, okay, that's nice. So, what? You said 8, right?
Yeah, so it's 4.
Oh, that's good.
Because you actually, like the door, and you crash through the door together with Benito. You're basically falling down on the other end,
Okay,
tumbling into the floor, but the door is just sort of broken out of its hinges.
okay.
So it's really just flying away. It doesn't have hinges, so it's
Yeah.
not It's really just sort of bent.
I'm standing...
And it gives way to the unstoppable force that you seem to be.
I'm standing up and I'm saying I'm never going to do this again. And now let's get out of here.
I'm going to give you back one of your edge points that you just spent, because you spent that so well. And
Okay, thanks.
And I get off the bunk and just walk out.
well done, boys.
Okay, I'm trying to be leadership wise. Like I'm like, okay, let's go, follow me, because I'm the experienced here. They're just I don't know what they are, who they are, but I'm the professional here. Follow me.
Okay, that is a great sentiment. 2 things you realize. First of all, you're in a corridor again. That doesn't really have anything but closed doors. There is a camera here that's looking at you. It literally is looking at you. You can see that the camera eye is actually looking at you. And this is also all sort of semi-darkened, so there's just sort of emergency light going on. So whilst you're out of that cell, you really don't have much in the terms of follow me to do, because you're standing in front of another door.
Okay, open for ideas.
Now we have a door that we can use.
Oh, that's true, actually.
Backlock door as well, so there is no key or...
No.
But we've got a piece of metal.
Oh, you've got a door to actually use to ram into the other door.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's like kind of a tool.
It is kind of a very bulky tool. But you can use it as a ram, actually.
Yeah.
Not a good one. And it might hurt you, because it's basically bent plastic steel that you try to take, and it's got sharp edges and everything.
Are there any?
The impact is going to hurt you much less this way. but you're not getting your body as a bonus to the damage, but you're getting the door damage, which is I want to say +2.
Are there any signs of what could have caused the screams or the gunshots at this point? Can we see anything?
You're in a white, well, it wouldn't be white if it weren't lit by an emergency light, white blank corridor with just a couple of doors similar to yours but unbent, leading off that, and nothing else. The only way you see that there is an exit is because you actually came through that first door. Otherwise, there is really no feature other than that this is actually a visible camera thing. It's kind of a round ball that seems to be attached to a trail, something. What's a line, and it can move, or it could move basically along the whole side of that sort of goes around the whole corridor. So there's like a track that it can run on.
So let me take the door and kill the camera.
That is basically a good idea. Let's make a perception roll first, please, for everybody.
That sounds... Okay, well. Oh god, I have so much modifiers currently, that's not even funny.
Okay, very perceptive people there.
Oh, you say it now.
So the creeper stumbles at the door and is beginning to lift it up. And you realize there is movement on the camera end, and it begins to sort of move on its rail that goes around there, and you also hear some mechanical whirring and noise, and you can see that there is something sort of dropped out of the camera. So it's just this is the camera, and it's aiming something that looks pretty much like a gun type thing at Cleaver.
Yeah, but that changes nothing.
I don't know if it does. Especially because if nobody tells you, you won't even realize it's there.
So maybe I yell out, like, I don't know, what do you say in that situation? The camera has a gun?
Well,
the camera has a gun!
It sounds silly, but what it technically means that this is a drone and not a normal camera. Yeah. So it would probably, little Shadowrun excerpt, drones are, as we already know, sort of everywhere, but in 2076, they are mostly steered by AI. So there's riggers, actual people that sort of jump into drones mentally through some sort of cyberspace stuff. But if they aren't rigged in, then usually most of these are basically autonomous robots that have varying degrees of intelligence and programs that guide their reaction system. Maybe connected to some central network, maybe connected to some central AI. But by and large, they are like sci-fi robots, so they kind of act by themselves, and they can be armed quite heavily.
Okay, so I would yell out something like, "It's a drone."
Yep.
To Cleaver, and then I'd say probably yell out as well, like, use the door like a shield, like to shield himself, right? Would that work against something like that?
That would definitely add some defense. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I would attack it still with the door. I mean, if it shoots back, I still have the door in my hand, right? Yeah.
It's not easy to lift the door. So I'm gonna need a let's see. I'm gonna need a strength roll before you attack something, because you actually have to lift it up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a little like punching somebody with a weight. But since you are quite strong, that might actually work. So I'm going to say the threshold is 3 successes, and you rolled 3 successes, so that's fine. So you can use the door. You're going to get an attack modifier. Do you have a blunt weapon attack?
I think it's the only thing I don't have. So let's see. Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah, well, then roll this.
Of course I do.
It's an improvised weapon in a way. But
oh, you mean clubs, right?
Yes, clubs. And I'm Yeah, you roll your strength, so you don't get a negative modifier. That's fine. Yeah.
Well, I do because of my wound, so.
Yeah, all the wounds, of course. But
Well, yeah, there we go. Like that's because I'm already out.
Okay. Okay, so he's lifting the door, and it's again, this door is a massive steel door, so it's not like it's not like a wooden door that you can easily lift with 2 hands. So he's lifting it up, grunting, putting himself into it, and then he's smashing that, but he's more like falling with the door against the wall, and the drone basically just goes and sidesteps him, but the drone does do a counterattack. And let me see.
A bit help would be really nice here.
Yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to combat mode. That's a drone. Okay, so the drone activates because it's already weapon drawn. That's pilot 4 plus. Okay, so it's actually moving away quickly from the whole scene, sort of to the end of the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just use this here for a drone. And seems to do some aiming. So now what we're going to do is we're going to roll initiative. So we see who is doing what. There should be a thing on your character sheet that allows you to do that.
Where initiative?
It's on the main tab, top right, bottom right. Sorry.
Bottom.
Oh yeah, there.
Oh, there. Physical? I see.
But it didn't
Yes.
calculate my wounds. Wait, that's strange.
I don't think initiative.
Oh, that could be.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Yep. And this is where you see a certain talent emerging. And you
This
were
is my
wondering-
reaction time.
because you couldn't run at doors properly.
I got good reaction time, that's for sure.
That's nearly like it's nearly 3 actions.
There's
That
three
are
actions.
3 actions plus like there's nearly 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then you kill it before it's our turn. I'm looking forward to that. So
I'm just gonna see if wounds should. I'm not entirely certain whether wounds.
it didn't ask me to add any modifiers. That's the strange
Yeah.
thing. So I don't know.
Okay, we'll just for the hell of it assume that it doesn't. I think. Okay. No, wound modifiers are applied directly to the character's initiative attribute. This is why it doesn't ask you that. So your base initiative score should have been modified.
Okay, so let me do this
But
again.
it doesn't look like.
I can do that actually. There you go. Now I'm at. Oh well, that's a shame.
Well, it's a worse roll. We're not going to give you a worse roll. So you had 12, now you've got 9, which
Okay.
doesn't really make a difference anyway, whether 5 or 9. But so we are at 29 for Hole Punch. Then there's 14 for Benito, 9 for Cleaver, and I'm still trying to figure out what my. Oh, okay. That's pretty fast as well. Oh, 8 plus 46. Okay. That's 18 and 9, 27. You act before the draw. So the way this works is everybody acts once in order of the initiative. Then you deduct 10 from that initiative, and whoever still got any initiative left can act again in the order. And that goes on until everybody is at 0 initiative.
Okay.
So basically you're acting at 29, 19, and 9, and then you're out of initiative.
Yeah.
So you can do things 3 times. There's a lot of combat actions. We're not going to make it too complicated. So I'm just going to ask what you are planning to do. You can also hold your initiative in some way and just sort of wait for stuff to happen and then act at a later time if you want to see what's going on. You can also have something that's called defensive stance. given the fact that you are alone, that you're in a corridor with a drone that's armed, you may want to do that. And if you do this, you're gonna get your something to the defense value.
There are free stuff. You can parry, you can block, you can
Dodge.
evade.
I've got a lot of dodge, so.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can only in range defense. There's only the full defense option, and full defense means that you add your you add your willpower to the dice pool for defense, but you also take 10 away from the initiative score. So that would put you at 19 and would lose you an action. It wouldn't lose you an action because it's a free action, but you just would be later in that sense.
It actually loses an action because you're like every 10 is an action, right?
No, it doesn't lose an action because that's just applied to the score, but it's not counted as an action. So you still have an action at 29.
Oh yeah.
3 actions going to full defense, which basically means you sort of evade and try not to get hit by a gun. But you can still do something like a melee attack. Or
what does that mean? I don't know.
So there's 3 options you have. You can dive for cover, which would in this case mean run either into the cell or hide behind the troll and the door. And that would give you additional defense dice or would make it harder to be hit. But then you're just sitting there not being hit. You could run at the drone and sort of just try to attack it with your bare hands, which sounds a little silly, but it's not a big drone. It's like this size, and it's got a gun mounted on the barrel. So you could sort of try and grab the gun and sort of wrestle it in some way. So that's an option.
Well, I think maybe I'll do that because I know I have running skills and I have like
hands.
And I'm hands, and I'm good with guns generally, so you would assume I know how to quickly disable it in some way.
Okay.
If I can get to it. So how would what do I need to do to make that happen? What to try that out?
Since it's actually you being first, there's again 2 ways to go about that. You can either be quicker than the drone, which is impressive. You're quicker than an automated defense system. And just run at it, which would be possible with the distance that you need to cover. And then we would do some sort of unarmed attack for you to grab it. And then you could be allowed to roll something like guns and logic or something in order to try and find a mechanism in some way to disable it. If that doesn't work, or regardless of whether it works or not, the drone probably gets a shot at you in some way if you don't disable it immediately. So then the drone would get a shot at you. You could also use the full defense option, which would add your willpower to your evade and sort of try and dodge and go evasively towards it. That would decrease the likeliness of you being hit. But it would also mean that it does definitely get a shot at you before you're there, because you're basically being slower than just sprinting at full.
Right. Okay. But I still think, but I have... So do I have 3 attempts at this? Is this what you mean in terms of actions? Or
no,
is this...
that's one action. Then the next turn, when everyone else acts, and then you can try that again, or can try that.
Okay, cool. And so my agility would, for example, play a part in that, presumably. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, let's try that one, that second option you gave me. So what do I need to do?
Okay, so you run at it, which let's see if that gives you defense. Well, no, you don't need to roll actually, because it's a corridor. It's a little dark, and there's a door lying around somewhere. But you can okay, no, I don't give you don't need to roll for running. You get that. You're an experienced running. Just run at that thing. Just be quick about it. You sprint at it probably. Just be quick about that, and then you can try an unarmed attack to grapple the gun that's coming out of the drone. I don't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Still not.
Okay, we'll just wait.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So unarmed combat, and then I modify it how?
You just add your agility.
What's my agility? Hang on. Gotta go back.
And see if you connect.
Agility is 6.
You should have an unarmed combat skill under combat skills. It's probably hidden. You need to unhide.
Yep, got it. And then I add 6.
That calculates it automatically, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so it does. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. Sure.
No. Okay.
Oh.
Grab at the drone and try to get the gun, but it's just again sort of sidestepping you, so you don't really get a handle on it, which means your attack fails. So it's not a big thing. You've got another couple of tries, but that means it's the drone's turn, and since you're the most dangerous target, according to its analysis, it is going to shoot at you. And it's going to do that with targeting for pilot 4, so that's 2, 6, 8. Because you're running, you get a defense modifier, but let's see how many net hits I'm going to get. That's 4 net hits. Okay, so now you can make a defense roll. That's a reaction plus intuition, but again, it should be on your character sheet, probably on the main page, on the first page.
Okay, main page. And I roll defense, just the normal one?
Yes, and you add a modifier of 2 because you're running.
Oh. Okay, 2.
And now you roll.
That's a lot of dice.
4 successes.
You actually negated the attack, so it doesn't hit you.
Cool.
I can do that.
The drone dodged you, you dodged the drone, you're kind of in a very quick, speedy thing. And the funny thing is, before these two guys that are still standing where they stood before you started, and are just staring and slowly getting into gear, they seem like slow motion, really.
Yeah.
You and the drone both can do another thing. So you've got a second action now, you're at 19.
Can I just try the same thing again?
You could try the same thing again. So let's just see, because the way the initiative works is actually my mistake. This is what it looks like, but they actually can react, because the way it works is initiative goes through everybody, and then it's the next person's turn. So you're at 19, the drone is at 17 now, and it's Benito.
I don't like guns. I don't have anything to damage that gun, so I think I'll take the option to go back into the cell and just be afraid and just let them work it out.
Okay. So you're running at the drone. Troll is here. Benito is diving into the cell. That's not a problem. You can do that. And Cleaver, what are you doing?
I'm picking up that door and use it as a shield.
Okay, so lifting up the door again. A strength roll, please.
There we go. Oh, wait. There we go. Oh, that's not good.
That's you're not like you're getting it up, but it's sort of trembling and it's not really shielding you fully. You're just sort of halfway up.
Yeah.
You've got to cover should anything come and shoot at you.
But was this an action?
That was an action, yes.
Damn.
Lifting is a complex action, I'd say. At least at this point of the door. Let's call it a simple action. What else would you want to do?
No, I just wanted to go into full defense or something, but well,
you can do that. That's a free action.
Oh well, then I do that.
Okay, so you're basically ducking a little behind the door, going into full defense mode, and making sure that nobody can hit you. So now we're back at hole punch. You're trying
okay, so it's just unarmed combat again.
Yes.
Plus, no, it's not plus anything. It's just
not plus anything. I know. 2 successes, and the evasion is melee defenses. Hang on a second. It's dodge, so that's pilot plus maneuver. That's 4. That is 4. Oh, that's not a lot. Two successes as well. Okay. The drone sort of again manage to evade your grab, and you're sort of running after it, and it's trying to maneuver really quickly around you so it can get a shot at you, which what it is doing now. We have pilot 4 and targeting 4, so that's 8 guys. And that's just 1 net hit, and you can evade that with your defense without any modifiers.
So should I roll defense as well?
Yes. That looks like you defended. The drone doesn't even get close to hitting you, but you can see that it's got a taser. So 2 little shock darts came out and sort of banged into the wall. Mm-hmm. So modern tasers don't have any of these wires anymore. They're sort of remote control and have charges. But it didn't hit you. Benito, you can still cower in your cell? Or shout encouraging words or something?
Yeah, I say like, Cleaver, go get them.
Okay, you're trying to encourage Cleaver to actually do something other than cower behind the door.
Yeah.
He's just looking at you a little slow because he doesn't have any actions anymore. But I'm sure he'll take it to heart on the next turn, next combat phase. It's still, whilst you're all doing this, you really feel slow because this is your 3rd action now, All Punch, so you can have another attack. You're really fast. If you also be better at unarmed combat, you might be doing something.
Yeah, I'm not having much success in unarmed combat. So is there any different? What's the alternative to rolling unarmed combat? Is there an alternative?
At this point,
not really.
I mean, what you could do is
astral combat.
Yeah.
Stare at it.
You might, because it doesn't
lick it.
But what you can do is you do some sort of karate stunt and actually try to jump attack it. So you sort of, you kick your feet against the wall and just sort of try to ram into it.
Yeah, because I have gymnastics and all that kind of stuff.
To your unarmed combat.
Okay.
It could also be a negative modifier if you don't manage to do it, because it definitely makes the whole thing harder if you don't manage to do the jump.
Sounds
but
funky.
I think they're jumping, right?
So I've got gymnastics.
Yeah.
And so would I roll that instead?
Yeah, you roll that. Yes, gymnastics.
Okay. And do I need to modify it in any way, or just?
Nope.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Well, you managed to do it. That's definitely.
That's tough luck. Like with 10 dice, like.
I know.
Okay, but that still sort of surprised the drone. Let's see if it understands what you just did, because drones, while they've got AI, are sort of a little single-minded. They don't react well to sudden changes in the environment. Oh, but this is very adaptive. Okay, still roll your unarmed attack. Without any modifiers, unfortunately. Neither negative nor positive, so it's just a cooler way to do the same attack.
Which is cool.
1 success. Well, let's see. We'll try to evade that.
Come on.
No. Okay, so what you see is basically her moving really fast, like blindingly fast, grabbing the drone fast going out, then shooting, then she's evading, then she jumps at the drone sort of gets away from her again and shoots back with 2 successes. And it's a lot of, it looks like a good, like one of those kung fu movies where they're always moving around, but nothing really happens. So there's 2 attacks. You need to do another defense roll, please.
Okay. Defense.
Yeah. Easily evaded. It seems like you're both very good at not getting caught.
Yeah, this will go on forever.
But sort of the offensive part is a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a whole ballet of moves and counter moves and evasions and things, and the tasers fired again, but didn't hit her because she was somewhere else completely. But the end result is 0-0. So it's the next combat phase. No, combat turn, whatever. Next action. So again, we've got the initiative 29, 27, 14, 9. What are you all going to do?
Was
Maybe
this
at
a
this
question
time-
to the group?
Yes, it's a question for the group. I mean, because you can communicate. If somebody had a plan that's different than just continue, that would be a good moment to communicate that.
Well, the only thing is, like, if you care about the drone, like, since it's on the rail, it's on a rail, right?
Yes.
I could, like, try to use the door as a blocker for the drone. You know what I mean? Like, just hit it
Yeah.
into the wall, so there's limited evasion space for the drone.
Nice, yeah.
But other than that, I
That
don't
would-
have much plans.
Yeah, limited defensive capability. Yeah. Or both its offensive and defensive capability. Yeah. So you damage the rail with a door, sort of ram it into
That
the rail.
would be my plan. Like, step forward and, like, limit the space here.
And that would give me a better option for disabling it.
Yeah. It'll basically, because it would limit its maneuverability. You'd sort of have it into a corner, kind of, because it
Yeah,
can't
nice.
switch on its mouth. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Just saying, it'll help if 2 people carry the door. Because
Yeah, I think I'll help Cleaver because he looks kind of weak to me.
Yeah.
Oh!
Which I am, actually.
Yeah, he's a little worse for the wear currently. Okay, so that sounds like a very good plan. You'd still probably wanna make sure that the drone doesn't realize it's going to be put in a corner. So maybe you just want to continue to try grapple it, so it's still seeing you as the main enemy. From a tactical standpoint, you're just basically trying to make sure that it doesn't realize what's going on in the back of the corridor, because when it identifies another target as being more dangerous to it, it's just going to fire at these guys, and they come charging at it with a door that may or may not help defend them.
If I would be a drone, then I would see a door and fucking kung fu, whatever, and I would always choose kung fu. So, just saying.
That's what I'm saying. As long as you keep up the kung fu thing, that's true. But if you're waiting for you, if she would be waiting for you guys, which
Then
also
it would
is
say door. Well,
yeah.
okay, sure.
Well, it sees door and it sees rapidly approaching.
Rapid
hard
approaching door.
thing. Yeah, rapidly. It doesn't identify door. It identifies rapidly approaching hard
Objects.
surface, and that's a big threat level there. And also, you are carrying it, so it also sees you 2 guys running at it, which again sort of increases the threat level. So, not being a drone psychologist, I still say it might want to switch targets at that point. So, you might want to sort of keep it occupied.
Let's do that.
Again, 2 ways. You can actually seriously try to grapple it. Maybe you still make it. Because your defense is so high, you probably can risk that. Or you can do a full defense and just sort of more pretend to do that, and let it fire at you with a bigger chance of evading.
Go full risk.
What you gonna do? Apro?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. You're going
is
first.
it distracted or is it?
No, it's
not
not distracted. This is your plan. So the question is, are you going to seriously, like, are you just distracting it with minimum risk to yourselves, which would be a full defense, and then just sort of jumping in front of it, or do you want to actually seriously try to grapple it again?
Well, I think if they're using the door not to take out the drone but just to block its path,
Yeah.
then I want to take advantage of that and actually try to get the drone.
But you're gonna be. It's your turn before everybody else's. So
I
you
see.
can either wait until they do this, and just sort of jump around in front of the drone, waving
Yeah.
and generally being obstructive in some way.
Yeah. Or actually, I mean, I might as well before they try, I might as well give it one more shot
Well, that's the other
with
alternative.
my
Try one serious shot at a time.
my elite gymnastics moves.
Okay, good. Then
Alright.
another jump attack, which would be a gymnastics roll, and then an unarmed attack.
Okay, there's a gymnastics roll.
There you go, 3 successes. Excellent. You get 1 net modifier, so you get +1 die on your.
Unarmed
Attack.
combat. Okay. 1.
Still not overly impressive, but I don't know. One might get tired. Nope, doesn't get tired. Okay. Switching it. Drone attacks you again. So the ballet continues. With that's 5 successes.
Oh shit.
Let's see, you have
Defense?
defense.
Oh, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Again, you managed to evade. Very good. So
At least I'm lucky in defense, if not in attack.
yeah. You don't hit, but you don't get defense wins championships. Good. So you managed to evade, and now it's the door carrier's turn. So both of you make a strength roll, and then.
Can I try to lead him? Like, okay, let's 1, 2, 3, lift. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Make leadership call.
Awesome.
What's your leadership level?
Without wounds, actually not that bad.
-1.
I actually won. There you go.
Okay, so that's 1 success, and I think, hang on a second, there's an actual,
Yeah, there is.
there's some sort of maneuver that you do in that case with leadership, right?
Well, I can add, like, normally you add initiative, like in a combat situation, but you can also, like, direct someone, so you help him with the...
Oh, it's a teamwork quest, so it's +1, okay, for, Okay, so Benito gets +1 on his roll, so 1 die extra.
Nice.
There you go.
Good, so both of you now roll strength, please, and let me know the net successes. And Benito gets +1, yes. Okay, 1 success. And 2 successes, that's not really a lot. Okay, so you get 3 successes, which means you can lift the door, and you run at the rails.
Run.
Well, you stumble at the rails, but it's a the
Shuffle.
corridor is rather narrow, and it's not the most maneuverable of weapons a door is. So you're having a bit of difficulty, but nevertheless you managed to do that. And now let's see how well you impact. It's not even unarmed combat at that point. It's really just agility, and see whether you manage to hit something. So both of you roll agility, please.
That will hurt. That's not negative.
That's not negative, see? That's 2 successes.
There we go.
That's exactly the number you needed. So
Hey!
ram the door into one of the rails that the drone is carrying on, and there is sort of an electrical discharge when something happens, and you can see the drone actually sort of very quickly going left, right, left, right, left, right, as it sort of tries, its programming tries to adapt to the new situation and understand what's happening. Apparently nobody programmed it to understand that a door attack could be imminent, or what it would do to its maneuverability. It's definitely helping you, so I'd say this is another unarmed attack from Hole Punch, because it's your turn anyway. We can't hear you. In, out, and...
I said, and then no modifiers on that, just straight.
There are no modifiers for, well, it gets modifiers on defense now, so there are no modifiers on the attack yet.
Okay, sure.
Or you can, well, yeah, you just do an armed attack. You could do a jump attack again, but you've got 3 successes, that's fine. And now I'm only getting 4 dice. 6. And you've hit. You managed to connect. So you've now grabbed the gun.
Don't look at it. Like, don't look into the,
Don't look into the gun. Hey, what's coming there? Okay, so you've got it. There's 2 things you can try. You can wrestle it, in a sense, where you just sort of try to pull it or rip it off or something. Or you can try and disable it, which is more difficult. But since you're very agile, maybe more appropriate to your skill.
So my specialization with automatics and then submachine guns and that kind of stuff doesn't impact this at all.
No, it doesn't really help at that point. It's a taser, so it's not an automatic weapon.
Oh, right, okay.
And it doesn't really help with drone weapons. If you've got weaponsmithing or something, a repair skill or something, that would be appropriate. But at this point, it really is just trying to find a way to make sure that it can't fire. It's not like you're screwing around in.
Right. Yeah.
It's really just sort of making sure that it's blocked in some way.
Okay. So what were my two options again then?
Or wrestle, which is basically just rip the gun off.
Yeah.
Which is, again, this is not built to withstand people yanking at it strongly.
Yeah.
You may be able to damage it. That would just be a strength roll. The other opportunity is trying to do an agility roll and trying to somehow disable it this way, which is more difficult. It has a higher threshold, but you get more dice doing it. And we can't hear you.
True.
There
she is.
All right. Well, maybe I just try to go for strength in that case. I just try to yank it out.
Yep, go for it. Threshold is 3, so you need 3 successes.
Also, you can use edge for this. I would really like to end this situation.
That may be a good situation to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Okay. I'll use edge then.
Hang on a second.
You can do that, but actually, like there's on the front page, there's on the top right that you see GM roll and edge, and if you click on it, then you're in edge mode.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so I'll go strength on edge, 0 modifiers, and
no,
then
that's edge bonus modifier.
Oh well, edge modifies it already.
Yep.
Apply. Hello.
It doesn't.
Apply wounds. Is that a yes or a no?
It's a yes, but you don't have any, so it doesn't make a difference.
Oh, okay.
That's 3 successes, and that's all the successes needed.
Good.
Okay, so you jump up, you yank, and you just there's some sort of electrical discharge, and the drone's rearing like crazy around itself. But it doesn't have a taser anymore. You've have it in your hands.
Good.
So it can't really do much other than go. And that's what it does, very like intensively. But now it feels more comical than dangerous at that point, because we literally can't do anything. It just bumps against the rail where you put the door in. It dents itself a little because it really tries forcefully to sort of go through that door, and it's just too heavy. The door is just heavy. Then goes the other way around and tries to get a better angle at you, but it doesn't have anything to shoot you with. So it just sort of rears angrily with the camera, zooming in, zooming out, but can't really do much.
So the taser that I tore off, is that like anything we can do with that?
It is a weapon that you can use.
Okay.
You can't reload it because it's reloaded, like the ammo is in the drone. And it doesn't have a trigger mechanism in that sense.
Right.
But you could probably rig it in some way so you can at least fire it once.
Okay.
I drop the door, and I'm saying to Hole Punch like, good job.
Benito got out of the way before the door got dropped properly.
Yeah.
Okay, you now have a taser.
Are there the taser gun shot 1 or 2 darts at Hole Punch? Can you use them for anything?
No, you could use them, but they've hit the wall and they just sort of discharge, and that's it. So no.
Okay.
So they're just sort of very small bent needles now.
It's like lockpicky things.
Oh. Possibly not the best tool, definitely, but
better than a door.
It's better than the door currently. It's the first thing that actually does something that's similar to lockpicking.
Okay.
Good call.
Okay, so in that case, I walk over and I pull them, or I pick them up, or whatever, wherever they are, and I just kind of like, does my jumpsuit have any pockets?
No.
Oh. Well,
Because they don't want you to hide stuff.
oh. Well, then I just hold on to it.
Okay. Who's taking the taser while you're using two hands to lockpick something?
I can hold everything. I don't care.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you take it, Benito.
Yeah, Benito takes it.
Yeah, thanks.
He can be our camel.
All right.
As long as it pays well. Okay. So I'm assuming you're now going towards the door and trying to pick.
Yeah.
Good. So there is no actual lock on that in the sense of a grid lock or anything. It's or keypad. It's a Mac door, so it's got a. This time actually it has that. From the inside there is a small panel where usually there would be fingerprint scanner, or there is a fingerprint scanner. Probably not gonna open for you, but let's assume that with your darts and some sort of bent metal, you'll actually be able to sort of screw open the panel so you get to the electronics below it and try to work with that in some way. It's not an optimal situation. It's one of those MacGyver things, but
Yep.
you're heroes, so...
What happens if I tear out that panel?
If you tear out the panel completely, you mean?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Well, what is there to
Maybe
lose?
let's try my way first, and if that doesn't work, we'll go to Plan B.
Sure. Go ahead then.
Let me see. That's not that skills. What's your lockpick skill level?
1.
Okay.
Oh.
You're not.
You're confident at least, so I mean, that's nice.
I thought like 7.
Well, I've got 7 dice to roll.
All right, that's all right.
Yes, you're very dexterous you're nimble with your fingers, but
Yes.
you're still.
I'm ambidextrous, I'll have you know.
Yeah, they can do it with 2 hands.
Yeah.
That's good as well. Technical skills.
Yeah.
Locksmith. Okay. Well, why not? Yep, just give it a go. I'm going to give you a -2 modifier on that because your tools aren't really that good.
Okay, sure.
But let's try.
Wow.
You have been using edge.
Oh shit, I'm still on edge. Oh.
I'm on edge.
I was like, wow, why is that so good? Okay, let's try that again. -2.
Mm-hmm. That's still decent. Not quite there. At this point, usually you would expect to have an alarm sounding off or something because you managed to do something, but you didn't really get it to open. So it's one of these. It did something, but you didn't get the right cables connected. But there's no alarm, so you can just try again.
Okay. Same.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
Nah, not getting anywhere. Oh, okay. Good. So you're fumbling around in that. You don't really know what you're doing. You're good with the fingers. You know, you can find all the cables and you can go around and inside and do stuff. You just don't know which cables to connect, really.
Yeah.
It's red one, blue ones, yellow ones, and lots of cables.
Right.
But for some reason, something happens and you make noise and the hydraulics engage and you can actually open the door.
Okay, wow, well done, well done. I'll pat you on the back.
Excellent. And before we go to the next room, I actually have to take a short break. So meet me in 3 minutes.
Okay, see you in 3 minutes then.
mean, it's
Wait.
I don't know. See you in 3 minutes and play until 8.
Yes, see it.
Yeah. Cool.
Here we are again.
Ah. Goodbye to the healthy food.
Yeah, it's kettle roasted. What can you
Oh, kettle roasted. Well, then it's healthy. It's just potatoes. And potatoes are a vegetable, so
Exactly.
yeah, there's no fault there.
Yeah, spicy vegetables.
He's also got onto the non-healthy food.
Fuck the vegetables. I don't get it.
Everyone's, I'm so sorry. I feel like I've been a bad influence on everyone.
Yeah,
No, seriously.
probably the best intentions, but then you came and just ate kettle chips and M&Ms.
Yeah.
But playing pen and paper without any kind of unhealthy food, that's just impossible.
It's not right. It's not right.
No.
Back again.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey! Troll in the house!
All in the house. Normally I ban trolls, but
You can try to ban me!
You can't ever get enough of them.
Cool. Doors
All
open,
right.
right? Maybe we should take the door with us.
Just got very close to your heart, didn't it?
No, I don't
It
care.
also did more damage than all of you combined.
That's true.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's got the door. That's the real hero of that story here.
Okay, I'm probably be like, okay then guys, let's get out of here. Follow me and let's.
Okay, that's the second time he said that, and sort of stopped that after two steps into the next room, which in this case is a small office. I'm just going to push that away. There is a desk there and a chair, and a computer screen, and another locked door, and not much else.
does the desk have any drawers?
It does indeed.
Could we maybe rummage through the drawers?
Of course. You open one of the drawers. That's actually just sort of it's a button push, and
Yeah.
it slides open.
Nice.
You see a couple of like office item stuff, like a digital pen, so something that you use to work on the tablet. You see a couple of candy bars.
I'll take one.
Yeah, you can use the energy.
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go. Benito already has one.
Yeah, you share the spoils of victory.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it, actually.
so there's is there a PC?
There is a screen on the desk. If
Yeah.
you want to touch the desk, there's a screen that lights up. That basically just says emergency procedure in place.
Oh, so you can't do anything with it. That's a shame. I'll try to film.
If you had the talent to hack it, maybe you could.
I don't know if I have. I can try.
You always try.
I press buttons. What happens?
Give it a go.
I try. I press buttons. I don't know what should do.
Oh, there's no buttons on there. It's just a screen.
I try to
That's it.
press the screen then. I don't know.
It's a screen. Nothing happens. Sort of blinks.
I'll give it to Benito and say like, do something with that.
I think I'll just do that and realize, oh my god, I did something.
Okay. There's two things you realize. A, this computer is in emergency mode.
Good. I'll tell that to the group.
No, that's the first thing that you realize. B, that actually when you touch it, there is sort of a tiny department, like the lower bar in Windows, that pops up for a split second, and you can see some symbols on that, and you think one of them is a door.
I pressed that very quickly, like all.
Okay. You do press that, and it goes, access denied.
All right. I did everything I could.
Can't ask for more, really.
I don't want to crash another door. I really don't.
Can I try? I'll try lockpicking again, I guess.
You can do that.
Would the pen help me in any way?
It's half a level above the taser darts.
Well, then I will take the pen and use that instead of the taser darts.
Yes, you probably want to use both because taser parts.
Okay.
Parts you can bend and do something
Yeah,
with it.
nice.
It's an improvement in your tool, so I'll only give you -1 modifier on opening that.
Okay, nice. All right, let's try it. Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
I want. Sorry.
No, go on.
I just want to knock at the door, like, "Hey, someone out there."
Okay. Do you want to listen for an answer?
Well, I do, but don't know what the others
Should
do.
we all? I think we all do, don't we?
Yeah,
Does that
then
help us?
just make perception test.
Yeah.
That's what I'm good at. Like,
The one thing you're good at.
Which one's perception again?
also like rolling that many dice with a -3. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, that was obvious.
You're not, like, your head is ringing. It's hard to hear anything above the ringing noises in your head. Everybody else, you're listening? Still, well, you hear a little more. It's not as well insulated against noise, so you do hear sort of the outer, like the city noise. So you hear sirens, you hear
I can hear sirens.
cars, not that many, actually, mostly sirens. You hear sirens, you hear nothing much else. And they're not near, they sound like further away. And they're driving, so you can actually...
Can you please use the computer to make it work somehow?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's gonna be computer skills that do that.
Is there another, like, how big is the door in comparison to my favorite door?
Definitely not as big. It's not a heavy duty door. It's still a solid office door, but it's actually more of an office door. So
can I crash it?
You reckon you'd probably be able to crash that easily, much more easily.
Is this one that we could all help out on?
2 people, and you can't run at it because there's a desk and everything in the office.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'll try to kick it. Let's kick it in unison. So
Okay, that's
Yeah,
a
that's a good idea.
straightforward unarmed attack. It gives you also. It also, if you do that, you don't stand as much of a chance to get damage, but you don't get your body as a damage bonus, obviously.
yeah, let's try
So-
that.
Both of us?
Well, if you want to help, sure.
Okay, teamwork again. So 1, 2, 3. I think there would be a leadership role involved. So you actually managed to do it. Well.
I do the calling. Just,
On my one.
I shout at them.
At 3 or after 3. Okay. So
Oh, that's
there's 1 success that you add to the whole thing. 2 successes that makes 3 successes, and then Cleaver has 0 successes, which makes
What are you good for?
there's still your unarmed damage, which is your strength. So hole punch. What's your strength?
My strength is 4.
4 plus. Let's see. The barrier is not as hard as it used to be.
But I'm still hitting it, right? I mean, it's just like
You are hitting it and your strength, but you didn't do any success, so you get half your strength
I
as
see.
a bonus to hold the thing. Okay, average material, that's an armor of 6. So we've got 2 successes, 3 successes, plus, sorry, half your strength is what?
4 or 5, round up or round
Or
down.
round it down. So that's 3,
4.
6, 7, and hole punch got what?
4.
That's 11, so that's definitely over its armor, and... Nine.
I have enough of doors for today.
Okay, you did, yeah. Who would have thought that doors would be your biggest enemy in this adventure? This is the exciting world of the future. Let's kick another door. Oh God! Actually, this one is done. You really just kicked a hole through that. So whilst the door is still in its frame, you basically kicked half of it just out to the next floor,
Cool.
to the corridor. And another kick is just going to give it in, and you don't even need to roll. It's just going to take time at
Let's
that point.
go through.
And you can go through the door. So now you're
Yay.
in that corridor. You know that this is the door, like to your left. If you look, with the back to the door, to your left is where the exit is, because this is where you came in. 2 things you notice. There's a guy lying in front of that exit. Pretty much, well, it's mostly a guy. It's somebody sort of chewed half of him away, like, or at least to pieces. He's a little chewed.
Okay.
You see teeth marks, bite marks, and sort of half his face and the upper part of his body has been severely bitten into. Not by something that looks like it had teeth that were meant for biting, so not like a large animal. It's more like somebody gnawed at him for
Okay.
quite a time, or very intensively.
Well, let's get
A
to
lot of blood, obviously, as well.
the weapon chamber of Knight Errant, I guess.
If we only knew where that was.
I have no idea.
See, there you go.
Well, we can search.
Can
I mean,
we check? Yeah, I was gonna say let's check his pockets. Let's see if he's got a weapon on him.
Okay. What's your willpower?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. My willpower is 3.
Give it a roll. Okay. You don't feel like, yes, you want to check his pockets, but you don't really feel like you want to touch him because he's been bitten to some degree, and there's blood all over, and it just doesn't seem healthy. So you're not entirely certain whether that's a good idea. Maybe some of the other people can do that.
well, since I have like I used to be had another job once, so
Oh yeah, you're used to the violence. You don't even have to roll. That's fine. You're a butcher.
perfect. Let's begin. then Then let me please get to the guy.
Okay. So the troll steps in without hesitation, basically sort of lifts the upper half of the chewed up body up, the head's sort of lolling back. You can see an eye drooping out, and he's rummaging through the pockets. And you don't find much. You find a security card, of knight errant making.
I'll take that.
And he has got a weapon on him, a pistol.
I'll give it to Whole Punch. He seems very capable.
Yeah, that's what he says. He never saw her actually fire a gun. That's just.
I saw her flying around the drone. That's enough.
She's fast. That's true.
Yeah. Pistol.
Definitely
I'll take
fast.
that pistol. Thank you very much. Just tuck it in there.
Yeah. If you just would be so kind as to note that you now have a what is it? It's called Cobra.
Okay.
TZ 120. But a Cold Cobra will suffice.
Do I need to enter that into my character sheet, or do I just have that?
Yeah. I'll give you the actual numbers that belong to that later on, but
Where do I equipment, right?
there's a weapons.
Oh.
Yes.
Melee and ranged weapons I have, but I don't.
Yeah, ranged weapons.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay, and that is a Colt. Oops, shit. Colt Cobra TZ 120 pistol.
It's actually a submachine gun.
Oh, submachine gun then. Oh, it's not. There's no submachine gun listing here.
That's
Automatics.
Automatics. Okay.
yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Nice. Does that save automatically, or do I have to?
No, it
press
saves.
something?
It's
Just save automatically.
All right, sweet.
Okay. One of the things. Can you make a logic? So let's make perception roll. Perception.
we just like Riven and I was talking before the adventure started, and we're like, what's probably the most important skill there is in Shadowrun? It's probably perception.
Yeah.
It is.
In many role-playing games. Okay, 3 successes. Because you're a gun expert to a degree, and because you're perceptive enough, you realize that there is a small pad at where you hold the submachine gun, and that's got a fingerprint scanner. So this is a weapon that's basically key to a biosignature, which means you won't be able to make it fire.
Take his finger with you.
Well, that's a good
Unless
idea.
you take his hand.
Take the whole hand.
Well, okay, sure. I mean,
Okay, so maybe I look at Cleaver and I say to him, "I'm gonna need more equipment, if you know what I mean."
I don't know what you mean.
And I say, I'm gonna need you to cut his hand off for me.
Well, I have nothing to cut, but like, what's the general condition of the thing? I mean, I don't want to screw around with his body too much, to be honest. Like, I mean, there's borders, you know. I can live with like pulling this guy up, but like mutilating him, I don't know. Doesn't seem right.
This is where you draw the line.
Yes, that's why I'm drawing the line.
What you do is you can use your friend the door and just bring it down forcefully, so chop his arm off, so you don't have to rip it out of his.
There you go.
shoulder.
It's a good.
Nah, I'm not good. Nah, it doesn't seem right.
Okay, there is a line that people draw, and this is his.
Okay.
This is a dead body.
It's
Like,
a very weird line for someone whose name is Cleaver.
no, it's about principles.
Not
Like,
judging.
no, I don't see it.
Okay. So maybe do I try doing it myself then? Can I re-roll for willpower and see if I'm willing to overcome this?
Yep.
Okay.
Now now it's about a gun.
Does she?
Yeah.
This is the motivation.
Does she approach the body?
Oh yeah, she does. She sort of hesitantly steps forward, and then you.
So you do want to try this?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake, let me do it. Like, better do it with precision. No, it's like before I like someone like mutilate.
Well, if you're doing it anyway, let the pros do it.
Yeah,
is what
exactly.
it
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
please, like
like-
with yeah. Okay, let's.
I don't want to use the door. Like that's an overkill, kind of like.
Yeah.
Do we
Well,
have
you can just sort of yank his arm out of his shoulder.
that's. It doesn't seem right again. I don't know.
If you wanna sever the hand, you need a sharp cutting tool,
Yes,
which
exactly.
you don't have, other than really the door.
Nah,
the pen-
I'm like, oh, do what you want.
All you do is the pen and puncher wounds. Like,
No, like
punch-
this is crazy.
do it
Let's
as
go
well.
out. We don't need a gun. Come on, let's go.
Do we see any kind of mechanism where you put the security card in?
Well, actually, the door that he's lying in front of, that has a maglock that needs security cards.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going outside. Like,
Okay.
Don't you want to try the other doors?
you mean because of the weapons?
No, because well, we've got a card, so we could use open them, but I don't know.
So you wanna? Well, I have time. I mean, it seems
Well,
chaos outside.
All right, go out the door.
No, I mean,
I
like,
don't want to
honestly.
stop you.
No, if like we have time. Like, I just wanted to get to my weapon stash, so that's the.
Oh well.
But if like we could use a car, so I don't know where are the cars parked. Are they outside that door, right, or not?
Well, we came
They were.
from that door, so
So
maybe.
there's cars, right? Then let's go outside of the door. I want to check the situation. So
Okay.
Okay, so you put in the security card, and the padlock, the lock, the pad on the lock also says emergency mode, access. Actually, it says that, and then you put in the card, and then it says fingerprint.
are you kidding me? I'm taking the dude and like holding him to the
It's a
fingerprint.
police station. It doesn't allow people to just walk in. and out.
Doors! I tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm taking the guy. I'm pulling his finger onto that and like make.
Okay, so you lift off the
Yes.
sort of half
Yes.
mangled body, and you put his finger on, and the scan takes a little while. It doesn't seem too certain about it, and then it goes access granted,
Thank
and the door
you.
goes open, and you feel a breath of stale, warm city air, the stink of Boston, the sort of chemical smell, the rubbish from the harbor, all the pollution, and the wet pavement. Smells
Feels
like
like
home.
home.
So yeah, you can step outside. What do you see? You see actually just one car being left, so the two of them are gone. One is kind of halfway. One of the doors actually opened, and it's yeah. It seems like it was going to back out of the station in some way, but it just didn't. So one of the doors opened, and you see another guy lying next to the door.
Okay.
Again, looking pretty mutilated.
Perfect. That's good. Like that doesn't mean we need to take care of him, I guess. So let's go to the car.
Can we check him? Can we check his pockets and stuff? Maybe he has a non-palm print locked gun. Maybe.
I don't think so, but well,
Probably not. But
Well,
let's go there
solution
anyway, right?
Would be that they're all
The
bioprinted,
same.
because
Okay, all right.
Well, like-
otherwise you get a situation where cops are killed by their own guns, and we don't want that.
but the thing is, like,
Unless they have extra guns, for example, or hidden weapons or something, that's not unknown, because the guns are registered, and they also register the amount of bullets you use. And if you want to shoot somebody without getting the paperwork, you want to have an unregistered gun. So there's the theoretical possibility that cops do carry other guns on that errand in that case. And we don't hear you again.
yes, you know.
All right, then let's head over there.
What do we need to activate the car?
I wanted to see if I should roll willpower again to
Oh yeah,
check
yes
this one.
please. Oh, no problem. Greed overcomes your resistance. Or your ethic.
Okay, so do I find anything interesting?
Okay, so you approach the car. It's sort of like 5, 6, 7 steps away from the door. You rummage through the guy's thing. Let's see. No, he's got a security card again. He's got a gun as well. That's actually not in his holster anyway. It's lying close to his to where his body is. You can also see a lot of spent ammo shells and cartridges. It pretty like looking at, because again you're an expert looking at it. It looks like he shot about 120 rounds.
Wow.
Which is pretty much 4 cartridges of ammo, which is again probably standard issue what they usually carry. So he's spent all his ammunition.
Right.
So 1 hour of prison and like we missed the whole like all the fun. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you had fun with doors.
I'll have a look at the car. So in what shape is it? Can I start it?
It other than a couple of blood splatter and the occasional organ part, it's fine.
Can I start it?
Not unless you've got the security key.
That's not a problem, I guess.
I've got automotive mechanic skill. Can I roll on that, like to short wire it somehow?
You can. This is what that's other than repairing cars. This is what that's.
Hello there.
See, now we know his talent.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you sort of dive into the car. You get under the well, there's no steering wheel as such, under the steering whatever thing it is, and you fiddle around a little, rip something out, put something together, screw something on, and then the car starts. The motor winds up, and you've got a running car.
Cool. Well, let's get into like.
So where's your stash?
At home.
That's a very interesting question. Before we do that, can you do me the favor and do a perception roll, please?
Oh.
All of you.
I hate that talent.
Okay.
Why do I bother even? I have 3 dice and I have -3. Actually, like, why do I do this?
Because you can glitch. There's actually a possibility that you get negative, like wrong information.
I see.
But yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I actually rolled performance. Well, anyway. It doesn't matter, like, just carry on
Just
without me.
pretend to look.
Yes, I do that.
Because it doesn't matter anyway, you just pretend to look.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
I forgot my... No, let me do this
whoa.
once more because I forgot my...
you forgot about the wounds.
There we go.
Yeah, there was a positive modifier with that. Okay, well, you're better than nothing. Hole punch. Okay, so yeah, you get in the car. So everybody gets into the car. The troll kind of doesn't fit well into the car, so you have to really sort of bend down and squeeze in. And whilst the troll is doing that, Hole Punch notices movement towards the street. And you see something that you're not entirely sure what it is. I'm just thinking whether... Yeah, you'll make another willpower. Let's see if we can break you at some point.
All of us, or just Hole Punch?
Just her currently, because she's the only one seeing it. Okay, you're fine. Okay, so what you see is 2 people that you think probably had laid down on the pavement before the car started, and they now come sort of shambling at you. Not like in a zombie movie, like, oh, but it's the reason they're so slow is because parts of their bodies are missing, like parts of the feet, or they have just massive amounts of wounds. So they have a little difficulty walking, apparently. But they do walk, and they are coming at you at a good pace. And you can see that whilst they're doing this, that some of the wounds they have are closing while they're walking at you.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Should I run over them or just try to avoid them?
We don't need to like hit them. Just
We
Okay.
don't hear you. La, 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 la.
um, so they're coming slowly.
Well, they're not coming at a run, but they're walking towards you. It's not like they're limping towards you. Let's put it
What's
this way.
in their eyes? What's the expression? Is it threatening? Do they seem like they're going to?
They look a little scary because like one of them has part of the face just shot off,
Okay.
and they do both look. Actually, they both have Boston Red Sox T-shirts,
Great.
and they look maybe like a in this case a baseball fan that had too much to drink, and they're sort of a little like they're intent, but they don't like. It's not like they're aggressive. They don't have any weapons, for example. They just sort of stare at you quite intently. And you're not, if they were drunk, you would think that they'd had trouble seeing you and just sort of trying to orient themselves, trying to get to you.
Yeah.
And in the way they're moving, it's like,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
really hard to tell.
All right. So yeah, I think probably getting out of there is a good idea.
Yes, I guess so.
So I guess I tell Benito to get behind the wheel since he's the the automotive expert, and
Yeah.
ask him to get us out of here.
And
Okay,
I'll do
because
that.
you basically killed the grid system, you actually have to drive yourself.
That's perfect. That's
which is
awesome.
what we want to do anyway. So run them over or drive by?
Drive by, please.
I guess the knight errant cars are, I don't know, thick in the front, so
They're armored vehicles, yeah.
yeah. I'll try to accelerate really quick and then just drive them over.
Okay. So you run them over, just make a pilot test for ground vehicle.
I hope this goes well.
That's okay,
Hey.
guys.
That's all right.
That's fine. They're easy targets. They don't actually try to evade, which is weird. Like if you see a vehicle coming at you at full speed, that's an armored police car, then at least you want to step aside in some way. But you don't even see. There's not even the realization of the fact. Like because Hole Punch looked at them and like they still look at the car very intently, but it doesn't seem to register that the car is actually coming at them and presenting some sort of danger.
Yeah, it's just crazy
So-
people.
And you just run them over. And you just continue.
Okay.
What's weird is that one of them, when you see in the back, well, it's not a mirror, but in the camera that's giving you the back. When you run him over, you see that he's sort of bent and he's going and still trying to follow you. Not very successfully because you basically just drop all the notes in the body.
Yeah, have you watched these videos, like those with the zombies and everything?
It's a little like that, but they're not like zombies because they don't move in this shambling way. They move like normal humans that just have some of their limbs not functional, but the rest of their body doesn't realize it.
Yeah, I have no time to worry about that. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word of warning, whenever you short circuit or capture in any way a police car, that will have raised an alarm at some station.
Yeah, I don't
And
care.
obviously they all have transponders, so it's not so
Probably
unusual
they
that-
are already deep shit anyway.
Yeah, I
so
guess so.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I'm just saying that it's probably not the best idea to drive around very
Yeah.
long that thing. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Okay.
And I think you successfully managed to make your jailbreak. So congratulations. This finishes the first session, and you were victorious against the doors.
Yeah.
Us versus the doors.
So now the
Yes.
doors could ultimately withstand your mighty powers.
Lovely.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
Thank you for playing. Thank you for being the prison people that you are. I hope you had a bit of fun.
Oh, it was fun
yes,
for
it
us.
was
for
really
sure.
nice.
Also, thanks to all the guys who are still hanging out with us. It's pretty nice
Oh yeah,
to.
still people that after 3.5 hours still here. That,
Yes,
yeah,
actually, like more than
you're,
before.
You're almost as as heroic as these three guys that managed to break out.
We don't know when we play or when we continue this again. We're probably like in 1 or 2 weeks or something. Follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter. There's Upro, there's Green Cricket. We both will let you know when there is when we're going on again. So, well,
Okay.
cool. I'm saying then goodbye, guys. Until the next time. And when is your next stream, Upro?
I'm literally going to start streaming now.
Oh, so you can hop over to her right now.
So yeah, you go host me and I'll be there. I'll be on in a second.
Awesome. And I'll be back at Monday for some Quint. So hopefully see you there. And well, good evening and have a nice Saturday. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Goodbye, guys.